Welcome to the stream, welcome to the stream, welcome to the stream. Technically the second stream of the day after an afternoon away. Starting even earlier than I thought I was tonight. Technically not even night. It hasn't even hit 6. It's officially not night in my eyes. You know, I wanted to give myself a chance here to either allow us to pivot tonight if we finish this story here early tonight to something else, or call it a super early night and me just depart off into the night. You know what I mean? So, what is all this? Okay. Sorry, I was checking something on Steam here. Let me boot up the game. Mind your ears. There it is. So we read. I think we're probably going to be able to finish this tonight. I assume we're finishing. How to get that on my system. Like I said, I think we're finishing this tonight. I don't actually know how long this is, but I remember looking up quite some time ago that it's not super long. So with what we read on Tuesday and then whatever, I mean, we're technically, since we're starting early tonight, if this was to go extra long, we'd have time to do it, right? So I think we'll be good. Yeah, we read for a while on Tuesday, the smallest of recaps. We already had the outbreak thing was happening, and then all the kids started running away, trying to get to safety. I think they were last trying to make it over to the Sonozaki stronghold, as far as to find a place that they could hunker down in and wait it out, what is happening. Basically, there's the outbreak of the thing, and then there's the crazy people that are blaming the recent outsiders to the problem. So that's why they turned against people like Kechi and Satoko and Rina and stuff like that. And then they turned against Mion because Mion was seen as harboring and safety, providing safety and cover for the rest of her friends, so they lumped her in with that group. And then we had Kasai, Shion made an appearance. Takano made a very quick appearance. There's another spirit thing. Think along the lines of Hanyu, but some other kind of spirit being. There was a little bit of explanation. I don't remember it 100%. I also think it was kind of left a little vague, either because it'll be explained a bit more, or they just don't really care to explain it a ton to us about the whole deal. But it's, you know, it's spirit stuff. There's just another spirit person. There's another character introduced who seems to be the mirror reflection of Rika, who probably has a connection to this spirit thing that was also introduced, just like Rika and Hanyu. And they're just running around. They're running around avoiding dying and death, basically. That's where we're at. I want to, based on this screenshot and this little text here, I think did we just make it to the Sonozaki place? Because I know right before we ended, we, like, just met up with Shion again. Or, you know, met up with Shion. So I assume they got to where they needed to. I don't know. We'll see. So let's read. Throat cleared. The Sonozaki Group's office had been turned into a shelter for the local residents. The You can see the townsfolk lying down here and there, huddled under blankets.
地域あっての園崎組ですので、ガンさんの指示で混乱の初期から行くあてのない人々を保護しています。
Let me turn that up slightly. Ooh. Okay, you could say that you could say that the Sonozaki group is this region. After all, under my mom's orders, we've been taking in people with nowhere else to go since the chaos started.
行くあてのない人々ってのは
What do you mean, people with nowhere to go?
うねちゃんと同じような人たちってことだよ。仕事で来てたり、遊びに来てたり、沖宮の外からここに来て、騒ぎに巻き込まれた人も大勢いると思うよ。
She still has that wounded arm, as if... Get her a change of clothing or something, or address the wound better. She means people just like Uni-chan, those who came here for work or visit for pleasure. There are a lot of people from outside of Okinomiya that got caught up in this mess.
そういう行くあてのない皆さんを自警団連中は真っ先に襲おうとしました。戦うこともできたのですが、茜さんのご指示でそれは避けることとなりました。
The watch went after those with nowhere else to go first. Could have fought against them, but Kane-san ordered us to avoid that. Oh yeah, the faceless people, the faceless mob. So after securing as many people as they could, they built up their surroundings with those barricades to limit their contact with the watch and prevent any further trouble. To the watch, all outsiders were the infected. If they knew so many outsiders were being sheltered here, there would be big trouble.
ここは安全なの？
Is this place safe?
沖宮で一番安全な場所だと保証できます。沖宮コミュニティホールが一番のシェルターでしたが、あそこは崩壊したようなので、ここが沖宮で最大のシェルターでしょうね。
I can guarantee it's the safest place in Okinomiya. Community Center was the main shelter at first, but that place has collapsed, so this is what's left.
崩壊って？
Collapsed?
船頭を多くしてなんとやら。リーダーシップをめぐってのトラブルから殺し合いの騒ぎに発展したそうで、恐ろしいことです。
You know what they say about too many cooks. What started just fighting over leadership led to murder. It's terrifying.
なるほどな。シオンのところはリーダーシップがしっかりしてたから規律が取れ、鬼に心を明け渡すような連中が現れなかったというわけだ。
I see. Leadership here is solid, so you've managed to establish order and keep people from handing their hearts over to the demons.
さすがですわ。じゃあ警察とかも機能していますの？
Impressive. So are the police and such still operating then?
市内各地の暴動の対応で散らばり、感染者をかくまおうとしているとデマが流れ。
They're scattered across the city responding to riots, and there are lies going around that they're harboring infected.
警察が想定している事態を超えてるよ。対応できるはずもないね。
The situation's beyond anything the police were prepared for. There's no way they could handle it.
それにしても富武のおじさまは勇ましかったね。その素敵な銃は一体どこから？
That said, you were brave out there, Toмотake. Where'd you get such a wonderful gun?
いや、たまたま拾ってね。
Well, I just happened to pick it up.
素人衆に扱えるものではないでしょうに。謎の多いお方です。
You know, it's not one amateurs could handle. You're a man of many mysteries.
Rika?
Yeah, that's why Takano's into him. Rika? Rika? Rika?
どうしたんだ？あれ、リカちゃんがいないぞ。お姉ちゃんもいない。
What's the matter? Huh? Rika-chan's not here? Uni-chan's gone too.
さっき二人で向こうで話してるのを見たけど。
I thought I saw those two talking over there just a moment ago.
なんだってのよ、ハニュ。この子がどうしたっていうの？
What do you mean, Hanyu? What's your issue with this girl?
静かに。今、語りかけているところです。
Quiet. I'm speaking to her right now.
どういうこと？このウネって子が一体何だってのよ。
What are you saying? Who on earth is this Una girl? The sound of a tuning fork echoed in Rika's hand. The tone gradually changed, almost like it was being, well, tuned. Rika understood. This was a conversation between inhuman beings. It was like they were using a radio. They were searching for the right wavelength to allow mutual conversation, which meant this Una girl had to be.
我こそは角の民の長羽生なり
This is Hanyu.
汝は何者か
This is Hanyu, leader of the Horn people. Who are you? Good answer, good answer. That was when both tones began to resonate. A bright light enveloped everything. The moment that light cleared away, Rika, Hanyu, and Une were floating in the world of inhuman beings. The eyes of the young girl named Une occasionally took on the same light that dwelled within Hanyu's. I was certain. This girl was someone like me and Hanyu. Some inhuman being. Hanyu stared long into Une's eyes, waiting for a response. Oh. Oh. Majestic. I am Une. I am afraid.
怯えることはない。我は何者とも争う気はない。
There's
そな
nothing
た
to
はどこの民か
keep cutting him off. There's nothing to fear. We have no intention of fighting anyone. What people do you come from? What followed in response wasn't words, but something conducted through telepathy. Telepathy. Various images were practically forced into Rika's head, like she was being compelled to daydream. The ocean of stars in space, her blue earth shining in the distance. Apparently, Une was something that had only recently arrived on Earth. She had finally arrived at this land after a long journey, just as Hanyu's people had.
そうであったか。長き旅路の果てにようやく
Okay, so it's maybe not exactly the case that I thought it was. Slightly different. So that's the case. After your long journey, you finally...
我漆黒の海にてここへようやくたどり着いたですなのに
I was frozen in that pitch-black ocean, and I finally reached this land. Yet, Rika finally realized it. She was terrified. She had finally arrived here, and now she was anxious as to whether she could live safely or not. It wasn't unreasonable. From her perspective as an inhuman being, it was far too dangerous in Okinomiya with the current uproar. The people turned ferocious by N173 were killing each other in a sight out of hell. It was far too sad for her to receive such a welcome, after finally reaching this land after her long, frozen journey through space. Hanyu then followed up by sending Une images of what she knew. For a while, Rika's head was flooded with both of their passing images, her mind like a television screen flickering between channels. Then they finally understood each other's upbringing, circumstances, and present situation. Rika was also able to convert those concepts into human words and understand it vaguely. First off, she understood that Une was the same as Hanyu and Tamura, an inhuman being. She was one of the inhuman people from space who lived within humans just as humans lived on Earth. She reached this planet just the other day. However, that was according to said inhuman being, However, that was according to said inhuman being's perception of time, so it might have been several years. Her body had finally acclimated to Earth, and she had just regained self-awareness. She was more of a seed as she drifted through space, and only regained her self-awareness after taking root here on Earth and finally budding. Rika also understood the special nature of Une's people. She's an alien. The special nature of Hanyu's Horn people drove people to paranoia when they grew unstable, and caused their hearts to become possessed by those demons. That was a disadvantage for them when trying to coexist with humanity, and was a problem both Hanyu, Tamura, and the Horn people recognized. That problem is also the aspect that Takano showed interest in. In Une's case, her people carried no such disadvantage. They were much better adapted to coexisting with humanity than Hanyu's people were.
と違ってあの田村ってやつには歓迎されるタイプなわけね。
So unlike you, they're the type that Tamura would have welcomed.
田村姫の御事が新たな来訪者を歓迎するわけもないのです。そして彼女にとってはウネもまた我らと同じ恐るべき侵略者。
There's no way Tamura Hime no Mikoto would welcome any new arrivals. To her, both Une and I are equally terrifying invaders. Une's people possess strength nearly equal to Hanyu's.
強さって頭の中に流れ込んでくるイメージでは根の強さという感じだわ。
Strength. The image just pouring into my head is the strength of a plant's roots.
花壇に咲き誇る美しくもか弱い花は強い根を持つ野草に飲み込まれてしまうこともあるでしょう。そういう強さのことです。
Fragile flowers that bloom beautifully in a flower garden will sometimes be overtaken by wildflowers with powerful roots. It's that same strength. In Hanyu's world, their peoples are better described with the concept of plants than animals. Yes, even in the world of plants, there was survival of the fittest. Hanyu and the Une had very strong power to survive. Their peoples are hardly species with strong roots.
それを目の敵にするってことはあの田村ってやつの一族は
So what about Tamura's people, the ones that view you as an enemy?
私たちと比べるとあまりにか弱い一族です。しかしそれは誰かの責任でもなければ運命でもない。ただ私たちが生まれ持った特性に過ぎないのです。
Her people are much weaker than mine. However, that's no one's fault, nor is it fate. It's just the special nature we are born with. To these inhuman beings, the earth was a big flower bed. They were all trying to sow their seeds and allow their species to flourish. In the past, Tomura's people were the only flowers blooming in the flower bed of Earth. Then Hanyu's species showed up, and with their strong reproductive ability, they quickly dried up Tomura's people and increased their population. So of course, from Tamura Hime no Mikoto's perspective, they were invaders. On top of that, Hanyu's species posed the risk of destroying the flower bed if they grew unstable. Nothing could survive if the flower bed was destroyed. So that's why Hanyu's people agreed to confine themselves to Hinamizawa, the flower bed best suited for them, until they were able to gain the power to coexist with their flower bed. Yet now, this Une, special species with the same amount of strength, has once again entered the flower bed. Fortunately, Une's people will not harm the flower bed. However, they possess the strength to easily wipe out Tamura's people.
そんなつもりないです。ほんの少し我のために大地がもらえれば。
We have no such intentions. We just want a little bit of land for ourselves.
その気持ちわかります。私もあなたを応援しましょう。星の海を渡った同じ仲間として。
I understand how you feel. I support you in this as well, as one who has also crossed the ocean of stars.
だとしたら最高についてないタイミングでやってきたわね。羽生の民が大暴れしている今の状況では田村が異民族を歓迎するとはとても思えないわ。
In that case, she's just arrived at the worst possible time. It's hard to imagine Tamura welcoming another species with Hanyu's people running rampant like they are now.
怖いです。ただ静かに咲きたいのに。
I am scared. We simply want to bloom quietly in peace.
田村の力の及ばない土地はないの？
Is there no land beyond Tamura's reach?
日本の全土はほぼすべて田村の民の土地です。仮に日本を出たとしても、そこにはその土地の民がいます。
Nearly all the land of Japan belongs to Tamura's people. Even if she were to leave Japan, there are other people living in those lands too.
地球は空室なしの満員マンションってわけね。
So the Earth is like a full apartment complex with no vacancies.
でも僕は田村姫の命の民は少し陣取りすぎだと思っていますのです。先住民は敬わなければなりませんが、土地は分け合うべきなのです。それを独り占めする田村は意地悪なのですよ。はう。
But I believe Tamurahime no Mikoto's people are claiming too much. We must respect those who lived here before us, but they should share the land. Tamura's a bully for monopolizing it. How?
もう戦国時代にして徹底的に奪い合っちゃえば。弱肉強食は自然の摂理でしょ。
Why don't you just go all Sengoku era and compete for the land? Survival of the fittest is the law of nature, right?
それでは大変なことになってしまうのです。花壇もこの星もおしまいなのですよ。はわう。
Because that would lead to something terrible. Our flower bed and this very planet would meet their end. Ow, ow.
そういえば、あんたとウネって同じくらいの強さなのよね。戦ったらどうなるの？
Now that you mention it, you and Une are about equally strong, right? What would happen if you fought?
戦いたくないのです。
I don't want to fight.
僕も戦いたくないし、戦うのも無意味なのです。僕と彼女の力は互角ゆえに。
I don't want to fight either, and there's no point in fighting her anyway, because our strength is equal.
つまりはどういうこと？
Meaning what?
僕たちの場合は、花壇は早い者勝ちになりますです。
In our case, the flower bed would go to the fastest one. Ow! Ow!
戦いたくないのです。
I don't want to fight.
つまり、ひなみ沢の人間には、ウネは感染できないってことね。
So you're saying that the people of Hinamizawa can't be infected by Une, right?
そうなりますのです。
That's right.
そして、ウネが寄生した人間は、ひなみ沢症候群にかからない。
And likewise, the humans with Une's parasite can't come down with Hinamizawa syndrome.
そうなりますのです。
That would be correct. I think I might have figured out how to identify aliens. Anyway, something's nagging at me. This means...
羽生、私たちって何をしてるんだっけ？
Hanyu, what were we doing again?
豆腐の角に頭でもぶつけたのですか？
Ow? Did you hit your head on tofu or something?
高野の暴走を許さないためでしょ。高野は N173 を世界中にばらまこうとしてる。それを阻止するのが目的でしょ。
We can't allow Takano to run wild, right? She's trying to spread N173 throughout the world. So our goal is to stop that, right?
はい、なのです。それがどうしたというのですか？
Yes, it is. But what about it?
あんたバカね。大バカだわ。なんてこと？一石二鳥じゃない。
You're an idiot. A huge idiot. Can't believe it. It's two birds with one stone.
よくわからないです。
I don't really understand you.
この子に田村なんか気にしないで、自由にこの星に住んでもらえばいいのよ。
Just look at Rico quizzingly and be like, what?
ウネには取り付けるんでしょ。そしてウネが取り付いた人間には羽生の民は取り付けない。
We just need to forget about Tamura and help this girl live freely on our planet. I mean, the humans possessed by Tamura's people can be taken over by Une, right? And the people Une's taken over can't be taken over by your people. The pair of stupid aliens both tilted their heads in confusion. It makes sense. Now all the pieces are in place. Okay. I know the identity of Takano's devil. This is all we have to do.
高野より先にウネが日本中の人々に取り付けばいいわけ。そうすれば高野が N173 をばらまこうとも誰にも感染しない。
So we just need to get Une into the people of Japan faster than Takano. Once we do that, no one will become infected, even if Takano spreads N173 everywhere. Well, I would feel kind of bad about clearing Tamura's people out, so why don't we stick to just the prefecture so we can block Takano in? There's 47 different prefectures, so Tamura Hime no Mikoto can spare at least one. Once we surround Takano with Une, she won't be able to spread the infection any further. We'll see off the spread of N173 and be able to prevent further damage! Exclamation point. Now I get it. That development would prove fatal from Takano's perspective. Une has to be the true identity of the devil she spoke to Toмотake about. That's the only thing that makes sense. Une and N173 are evenly matched. They can't beat each other. If we infect people with Une before they get N173, then we'll ruin all of Takano's plans. It's just crazy enough to work! So there you have it. Oh. Oh, that's an incredible idea, Rika. I kind of understand, maybe. Yeah, that's just like me. What was Ryukishi cooking with this one? He wasn't. Oh, man. This is an incredibly good idea. Une will get to live on our planet, and we'll be able to prevent any more tragedy. Plus, we'll drive Tamura out of this prefecture, so it's two birds with one stone. If Une occupies the entire prefecture, then Tamura's people will be driven out of here. That would mean we'd never see Tamura Hime no Mikoto again unless we left the prefecture, and we wouldn't have to listen to her complaints. Angry. For the first time in 1,000 years, we could strike a blow against the god who claimed all of Japan for herself and nagged us anytime we set even a foot upon her land. Oh, that JPEG is moving. Okay, so I hate to divert so quickly here, but like, I feel what's happening in this story that we've seen most of the time is an elaborate setup for a complex story to then have a more broader, like, real world, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, real world application for God, I can't think of any terms right now, but like when you have you're meaning a different thing, like when a story about fairy tales has like an overarching like lesson that you're supposed to take away from it. Like this whole thing is like, and maybe you could make this argument about any kind of like story from Ryukishi or whatever, but like it's very much like just a super complex, like batshit insane, at least this little thing, story about fucking aliens and territory and all this thing, and it's elaborate setup to just be like, oh, you know, don't be like this or whatever the case. My point is diminished because I can't think of terms right now. My brain is just spent, but like, it is kind of weird. This is a little. It's fine. It's whatever. I don't mind reading it, but it has been weird to say the least. I digress. Hanyu is dancing with joy. She must be thoroughly at odds with Tamura. Well, such an arrogant attitude and condescending posturing. Even Rika wanted to strike her after only meeting her once. It's a missing word there. What should I do?
沖宮じゃどうしようもないわね。何しろこの町はすでに N173 に感染してる。ここの人々にはあんたは感染できないんでしょ?
There's nothing we can do about Okinomiya. After all, the city's already infected with N173. So you can't infect the people here, right?
はいです。
That's right.
ではどうすればいいのでしょう。
In that case, what should we do?
そうね。
Well, According to Tomatake, all means of transit out of the city have been cut off to prevent the spread of infection. In other words, we couldn't get Une out of N173's infected region. We would have to escape the city before Takano does and spread Une's people. We should probably talk to Tomatake and gain his support. Since Tomatake knows about the parasitic neurovirus, he should understand our situation too. Even if he does reject the idea of spreading Une, the information could lead to the discovery of a new treatment or even a vaccine. Rika called Tomatake over and explained the situation. Of course, gaining his understanding took until dawn, yet even so, he ultimately understood.
なるほどね。わかったよ。判断を東京に委ねなければならないけど、彼女の存在は大きい。うねちゃんが協力してくれるなら、僕たちも快適な待遇を用意できるさ。
Interesting. Alright, we'll have to leave decision up to Tokyo, but her existence is... it's a huge deal. If Unichan's willing to cooperate, then we can prepare comfortable accommodations for her as well.
私も快適なのは嫌いじゃないのです。
I wouldn't be opposed to being comfortable.
上竹は話せる男なのですよ。きっとうねによくしてくれますのです。
Tomatake is an understanding man. I'm sure he'll treat you well, Une.
嬉しいのです。
I'm happy.
ようやくこの惨劇にも終わりが見えてきたようです。
The end of this tragedy is finally in our sights.
ウネが市外に脱出するまでは何とも言えないけれど、一応は一見落着なのかしら。
Well, can't claim that until we get Uni outside of the city, but it's at least one problem solved, I suppose. The Sonozaki Group office was the safest and most tightly guarded place in Okinomiya. It had food, resources, weapons, everything. They had Tomatake's understanding and cooperation. They had Une's cooperation as well. In terms of chess, they were now a few moves away from checkmate. It was a perfect time for their opponent to give up. Unless the Joker, Takano, caused some kind of uproar. She's a Joker.
あと、あのいけすかない田村姫のなんとやらもね。
Plus, there's that obvious, obnoxious Tamarahime no whatever.
あいつが僕たちがこれからしようとすることを歓迎するとは思えませんのです。
She's not likely to welcome what we're trying to do now. That was when they heard the ringing of a tuning fork, and bright white light enveloped both Rika and Hanyu. She's here. Tamarahime no Mikoto. Speak of the devil.
己角の民の長やはりは汚らわしくもその土足で我らが大地を汚すつもりだったなりや。
How dare you, leader of the Horn people? Truly, you have been plotting to taint our land with your filthy shoes.
新たな友人であるウネを受け入れるのです。何もあなたの土地のすべてを奪うわけではありません。
We will welcome our new friend Une, yet that does not mean we will steal all of your land.
黙りたまえ、不浄の民め。結託して大地を汚そうとするその試み、我が輩が許すわけもなきと知りたてまつれ。
Be quiet, tainted one. Know that we shall not permit your conspiracy to corrupt our land.
あのね、高野って悪党がいて、そいつはあんたの言うところの角の民を日本中、いえ、世界中にばらまこうと目論んでるのよ。そうしたら、あんたたちは全滅しちゃうのよ。
Listen, there's this villain, Takano, and she's plotting to spread what you call the Horn people to all of Japan. No, the entire world. If she does, then your people will be exterminated.
そしてそれは、あんたが逆 逆立ちしたって防げやしない。船に少し土地を分けてやれば、船は地球に住めて、あんたもこれ以上の土地を失わず、羽生は二度とあんたの顔を見ずに済んで、三方が丸く収まるってもんでしょうが。
Getting angry at us isn't going to prevent that from happening. If you're willing to cede a bit of land to Une, then Une's people can live on this planet, and you won't lose any more land. Hanyu won't have to see your face ever again either, and this can all be settled quietly between you three.
黙りたまえ人の子め。不浄なる言葉をわめき立てること、許されざることなりと知り立てまつれ。
Be quiet, child of man. Know that you're not permitted to use your tainted words.
その頭痛の陣痛力、やめなさいよね。
Ow! Stop using that headache power.
元からわからず屋の機関棒です。何を話したって通じるわけはないのです。
She has always been stubborn and refuses to listen. Nothing you say will ever get through to her.
そなたこそ機関棒の分際なりや。不浄の民、角の民。千年経ってもまだ怒りが収まらぬなり。
You are the one who never listens. You tainted people, you horned people. My anger has not abated, even after 1,000 years.
それを言ったらこちらこそ。あなたの嫌がらせの数々、僕であっても千年の怒りが収まらないのです。
I could say the same to you. I haven't lost any of my anger either, for all of your harassment. I didn't know what kind of history these two shared, but if they held onto their grudges for a millennium, then then the cause of their antagonism ran deep. Apparently their history really isn't something humans, who only lived for around a century, could moderate. Well, that's just how gods are. Humans worship them all on their own, and yet the gods themselves are more human than humans. There are plenty of myths in every country about gods arguing and fighting with each other.
あんたたちの喧嘩はどうでもいいわ。田村のなんとやらが話を聞かなくても別に結構よ。でもね、人の世の惨劇を食い止めるにはこれしか方法がないの。
I don't care about the fight between you two. Tamura, no, whatever. If you don't want to listen, that's fine. But this is the only way to stop the tragedy happening in the human world.
愚かなる角の民の巫女には言っても分かりはせぬなりや。無論我が輩も不浄なる巫女と言葉を交わすつもりなど毛頭なしと知りたまえ。
You wouldn't understand anything I said anyway, foolish priestess of the horned people. Know that I've no intention of exchanging words with a tainted priestess either.
いちいちカチンとくる神様だわ。剣一個なんて自重しないでチューブをもらっちゃえば。
You're a god, okay? But you really tick me off. Maybe we shouldn't stop at one prefecture and just take Toyama and Gifu while we're at it too?
させぬなりや。再び我が民の土地を汚させはせぬものと知りたまえ。
I will not allow it. Know that I shall not allow you to corrupt the land of my people once more. There was a sound of glass shattering, followed by an angry, bellowing roar. Roar. What happened? Considering the timing, it was obvious Tamura had done something. Yet Tamura Himeno Mikoto was an inhuman being like Hanyu. She shouldn't be able to interfere with the world of man directly.
Takano-san!
Takano-san? Oh.
はい、二郎さん。
Oh god.
やっぱりあなたとは再会できると信じてたわ。
Hello, Jiro-san. I had faith you and I would meet again. Takano had broken through the window and flew into the office. Jesus. The whole spectacle was as flashy as a scene from a movie, and the men were all taken aback. Of course, even Toмотake couldn't avoid being dumbstruck. She was always unpredictable, but that was only in personality. She never had the physical ability to accomplish something like that. The men of the Sonozaki group understood she was hostile from the aggressive smile on her face. Yet, unlike with the rioters, they were unsure of how to respond. Meanwhile, Takano was different. She understood exactly what she needed to be doing. Toмотake soon understood, too. Her target was Une. Uh-oh. If we spread Une's infection throughout Japan first, then N173 will become useless. There won't be anything Takano can do then. But since she knew that from the start, she's targeting Une. Trying to uncover where she was hiding out in Okinomiya was inefficient. But once the Sonozaki group started sheltering people, Takano realized something. She just had to wait here, and Une would come to her.
ウネという女の子に用があるだけなの。連れてきてはくださらないかしら。
I only have business with that girl, Une. Could you bring her out for me, by chance?
何の話だかわからないね。
I don't know what you're talking about.
とぼけなくてもいいのよ。だってずっと見ていたんだから。
You don't need to play dumb. I've been watching you this whole time after all.
させないよ。彼女は東京で保護させてもらう。
I won't let you. We're going to contact Tokyo.
お取り込み
Holy
中
shit, who are these people?
園崎組事務所にようこそ。ミオさん。
Pardon me for interrupting. Welcome to the Sonozaki Group's office, Mio-san.
あらあら、ゾロゾロと。
My, quite the procession. Shion appeared with an array of tough men in tow. It went without explanation that Takano was an uninvited guest.
勇ましい方ですが、さすがに無茶が過ぎるのでは。
You're a tough woman, but I think you've gone too far now.
勇ましいかどうかは今からわかると思うわよ。
I think you're about to understand just how strong I am. Whoa! Holy shit! Ugh. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Whoa. Oh, to be grabbed like that by Takano. Takano grabbed one head each in both her right and left hands, slamming them against opposite walls. Where did such monstrous strength come from in that slender frame? No, even someone huge couldn't have produced such strength. The physics of it were all wrong. Even if her slender frame did house monstrous strength, she couldn't have picked those big men up and thrown them so easily from that particular stance. Shion, Kasai, and the other men watched in shock, and all they could do was stare at Takano's otherworldly power.
シオンちゃん、ぼんやりしていると、その頭の中身がぶちまけられちゃうわよ。
Shion-chan, if you don't pay attention, and your head will get splattered everywhere. Shion's dumbstruck eyes met Takano's, and for once she cringed with fear. Cringe! I couldn't blame her. When a human witnesses something beyond their understanding, they're completely unable to act until they can explain it. Takano's arms looked like huge bear paws to her, and before she could blink, those arms were swinging ferociously towards Shion. Look out! As Kasai shoved Shion out of the way, he grabbed Takano's swinging arm and used her own force to capture her arm behind her and shove her body onto the floor.
あらあら。
My.
恐ろしい御人です。一体どこからそのような力が。
What a frightening person. Why on earth did you obtain such strength?
葛西、さすがです。
Kasai, way to go! He got a good lock on her joints and pressed her into the ground. No matter how much strength she had, she couldn't be able to struggle any longer. Takano wriggled in an effort to escape, but she just looked like a pathetic bug pinned on its back.
無駄な抵抗はやめた方がいいです。葛西は怖い人だから、あんまり暴れると腕折っちゃうかもですよ。
You should cease your futile resistance. Kasai's a scary man, so if you struggle too much, he might break your arm.
その必要がない限りはしませんが、紳士でもありませんので、万一の際はあしからずです。
I won't do it unless it's necessary, but I'm no gentleman, so forgive me if it comes to that.
あら嫌だ。本当に動けないわ。
My, oh no, I really can't move. With her joints locked so securely it should hurt enough for her face to twist in pain. Yet Takano remained collected and seemed amused at her inability to move.
この程度なのかしら。私に与えられた力というのは。
Oh, she's got a line to the... Is this the full extent of the power you're granting me? It's not, is it? Takano used her other arm, and with just that single arm lifted both herself and her grappler, Kasai. It was like we were watching some kind of circus performance. No. Takano's irregular, monstrous strength allowed her, with just one arm, to lift both herself and Kasai into the air. Even Kasai couldn't avoid being shocked. In the next moment, he lost his hold on her, and she spun Kasai like a blender, throwing him against the wall. You're having too much fun! Shion got behind Takano, and pale blue sparks could be seen. She had driven her trump card, her stun gun, into Takano's body. No matter how strong you are, nobody can withstand electric jolts. Yet Takano just calmly turned around. Damn. My, what is that? That's impossible.
人の子の分際で神の御使いの私にそんなことをするなんて悪い子ね。
To think a mere child would do such a thing to the priestess of a god. What a bad girl. Takano's hand seized hold of Shion's face. Shion groaned and fought back, and we heard her skull grating. Her resistance like a baby's against Takano's vice-like strength. Damn.
これはお仕置きだからね。
This is your punishment, okay? The next moment, Shion's body was splayed out against the wall. For Shion, it was no different than her body being slammed into the ground. It just felt like she had been thrown out of the second story and slammed into the hard concrete ground. Then her body slid down and crumpled onto the floor with a groan. Yet Takano was about to walk towards Shion again, looking for something else from her. Stop this now, Takano-san. I don't want to shoot you.
あら、ジローさん。それはとても興味深いわね。人の子の武器が私に傷をつけられるかどうか。とても興味深いわ。
Oh my, Jiro-san. It's a very interesting idea. Very curious to find out if a human weapon can injure me now. Takano gazed at Tomotake's submachine gun with amusement. Didn't seem to be the uniquely Japanese scorn of assuming it was just a model gun either. She was truly smiling, keenly curious as to what would happen if she were shot by it. Tomotake failed to understand that too. Right now, Takano had to be gifted with some form of supernatural power. You made Takano your priestess? Tamura Hime no Mikoto? How could you be such a fool?
黙りたまえ。我が輩はそなたの指図など受けぬと知りたてまつれ。神聖なる大地を汚そうとする新たなる輩を成敗するなり。邪魔は無用と知りたまえ。そこに直れ、うね。
Be quiet. Know that I shall not listen to you. I shall punish all people who dare to taint our sacred land. Know that your hindrance is useless. Prepare yourself, Une. I haven't done anything.
白々しい。貴様の汚らわしさなど、我が輩の眼力の前には全てお見通しであると知りたまえ。
Insolence. Know that all your corruption lies bare before my eyes. It was never my intention to. She said the same thing when I arrived here and tormented me badly. She's just a bully. Tomura, no whatever. I hold no grudge against you, but I personally dislike your priestess. So sorry, but if you're choosing right, then we're choosing left.
我が巫女よ。悪魔ウネはここなりや。今こそ中する時。
Priestess of mine, The devil Une stands here. Now is the moment to slay her. So, you can barely hear her over the music. So that's where you are, Une-chan. Takano looked at the wall. She could see Une's figure through it. Une also noticed she was being stared at and shuddered.
逃げろ。僕たちには止められない。
Run! We can't stop her! Once Takano checked her right fist, she slowly pressed it into the wall. Then, cracks began to spread through the wall, radiating slowly out from her fist. That's insane.
何が起こってんの？
What's happening?
富武さんは逃げろって言ってる。逃げるんだ。
Tomitake-san said run, so run!
うねちゃん、早くこっちに。
Une-chan, hurry, this way! Run! She's gonna bust in like the Kool-Aid Man right now. The cracks in the wall spread even deeper before their eyes, and they could hear the ground quaking. There was no room left for doubts. Takano was planning to smash right through the wall.
Oh
カ
yeah!
メラのミコにはあんなすごい力が宿るのに、あんたのミコには何もないのよ。
Why does Tomura's priestess have such incredible power when your priestess gets nothing? Yeah, where are my superpowers?
それを言っちゃおしまいなのですよ。
Rika, don't say that. If you say that, it's over. Ow, 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 ow.
リカちゃん、何やってんの？逃げるよ。
Rika-chan, what are you doing? Run! Ah! Such a simple wall couldn't stop Takano. No, the priestess of Tamarahime no Mikoto. She smashed through the wall as easily as crushing a sandcastle.
見つけたわよ。うねちゃん。
I found you, Ni-chan. Une-chan! Une slipped and fell, failing to escape. Takano wasn't foolish enough to let that chance slip by. She strode right in and seized Une by her collar.
さあ捕まえた。
Now I've got you!
残念。発行の美少女、
Oh my god.
ウ
What?
ネさんだと思いまして。
Sorry, it was a pretty misfortunate girl, Satoko-chan. Did you think it was Une-san? Fucking got her.
残念です。
Got her ass. Too bad for you. Ha 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 ha. While she had kept her composure with a gun pointed at her, Takano's mind went blank for a moment after that. After Rika shared Una's secret with them, they prepared the ultimate trap to protect her. They had Satoko, who was closest to her height, change into her clothes and take her place. Of course, the slip and fall was all a calculated move to draw Takano's eyes toward her. The shock of seeing her otherworldly power smash through the wall was enough to overcome the thrill of trying to catch her in a trap.
さとこ。
Satoko!
おまぬけさんにはプレゼントですわ。
Oh, ha, 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 ha. And here's a present for our fool. Satoko took advantage of Takano's stupor to place something into her hand. It was a pair of white, fluffy bunny ears.
今よ、羽生。
Now, Hanyu.
いきますですよ。
Pika! Here I go. Flash!
はあ？何よ
This is
これ？
absurd.
うさぎ
This is absurd. We've jumped the shark. We've now officially jumped the shark in this story. Huh? What's this? Bunny ears. This is huh? Hanyu had used her inhuman powers to interfere with Tomura's own power for a moment, creating a break in the protection Takano received as her priestess. Of course, since Tomura was very powerful due to ruling over vast regions of land, Hanyu could only break her power for a moment. However, that moment was plenty. taking you home! This is stupid. Ah! Whatever. We need some levity, I guess, but it's just absurd. Rina's heavy blow was concentrated on Takano's face, and Kechi swept her feet in the opposite direction. Takano's body spun in the air and then slammed face down onto the mountain of rubble she'd created herself. If she had Tomohime no Mikoto's protection, then Rina's attack would have been little more than the toying of a house cat. But in that one moment, she had reverted to the ordinary Takano, which meant that it was a finishing blow. Takano suffered a concussion and passed out. What's going on? Is Rina-san really human?
驚いたね。
I'm surprised. After witnessing Takano's supernatural power just a moment ago, Shion and the others could replace their shock with strange smiles. Of course, because they just witnessed a club member instantly beat her and her superhuman strength.
おじさんだけ何もしてないとか言わないようにね。状況とメンバー全員の特性を考えてのおじさんの作戦勝ちなんだからね。
Don't go saying I did nothing, okay? This was my strategy, and I devised it after considering our situation and all our members' abilities.
おやおね、いたんですか？気づきませんでした。
Oh, sis, you're here? I didn't notice.
まさかあの怪物のような高野さんをこんなにもあっさりとね。
I can't believe she took down that monstrous version of Takano-san so effortlessly.
うねさん、もう怖くありませんですわよ。出ていらっしゃいですわ。
Une-san, there's nothing to fear anymore. You can come out now.
怖くないのですか？
It's not scary anymore? Une timidly emerged from the shadows where she hid, wearing Satoko's clothes. Normally, we wouldn't have been told, or we wouldn't be able to fool Tomohime no Mikoto's eyes with just a change of clothes. Takano was certainly able to see Une, even through a wall, with her divine power. Yet when Takano broke through the wall and saw her with her own eyes, her human perception took priority. She mistook Une for Satoko because of her clothes. That's why she fell for the club member's trap.
我輩の巫女がなんということなりや。
My priestess, how could you?
高野は失神してしまったのですよ。もう力は貸せないのです。
Takano's passed out. You can't lend her your power anymore. It's amusing that the Japanese word for passing out is written as losing God. Tamara may have been granting Takano powerful strength as her priestess, but she couldn't give her anything while she was unconscious.
おあいにくだったわね。こちとら高野の相手は一度や二度じゃないのよ。
It's unfortunate for you. This wasn't our first or second time dealing with Takano.
僕の巫女たちの力を侮るからなのですよ。さあ、田村姫の巫女、お前はしばらく静かにしているのです。
This happened because you underestimated the power of my priestess. Now, Tomohime no Mikoto, you shall be silent for a while. To the Shadow Realm! Banish her! Mind Crush! Hanyu Flash! Wonderful. Hanyu made scissor symbols with both her hands and placed them near her horns, causing a bright light to rush forth and banish the sight of Tomohime no Mikoto. Apparently, erasing the image of Tomura didn't mean defeating her, though. But I'm still grateful we won't have to see that annoying face for a while. Tomura let out a scream and a pose like a defeated Sentai villain before disappearing.
さあ、今のうちに高野さんを踏んじまってしまいましょう。
Now, let's get Takano-san all tied up while we can.
とんでもないバカ力でしたからね。鎖でも巻いておかなきゃです。
She was incredibly strong, too. We'll need to bind her with chains. A felt sorry for her. Takano was just a frail woman without Tomura's power, but her bonds were ridiculously secure. Well, that settles that.
我一件落着なのですか？
Is everything settled for us?
そうなのですよ。これでもう意地悪な邪魔者の田村はいないのです。
It is. That mean old nuisance Tomura is gone now.
あとは富武が何とかしてくれるわ。そうよね。
Tomitake will take care of the rest. Isn't that right?
そりゃ本当かい、
Sure.
ミオンちゃん。すごいね。ここには何でもあるね。
Is that true, Mion-chan? Amazing. You have everything here.
まあ、園崎家に用意できないものはありませんからね。
Well, there's nothing we Sonozakis can't get hold of.
どうしたの？
What's going on?
ここに強力な無線機があるらしい。どうも富武さんが使えば外部と連絡が取れるみたいだ。
Apparently there's a powerful radio here. Sounds like Tomitake-san can use it to make contact with the outside. It was the Sonozaki's illegally modified radio. Oh. According to Tomitake, could send signals out without being affected by the radio interference.
東京にコンタクトが取れるかどうか試してみるよ。
Mystical item.
ひょっとしたら救世主になるかもしれないんだからね。
I'll test it to see if I can contact Tokyo. Unichan might be the savior we need after all. In order to use the neuroparasite as a weapon, it was essential to have a vaccine for it. So the strength of Une's roots would prove a powerful vaccine against the infection of the N173 and most other viruses like it. Tokyo would definitely be interested in that.
富武さんってすごいですのね。何でもできちゃいますのね。
You're incredible, Tomitake-san. You can do anything.
いやーちょっと趣味でかじったことがあってね。
Well, I just studied a bit as a hobby.
これで私たちの大冒険はおしまいかな。
That's the end of our grand adventure, I suppose.
だといいな。俺もう疲れてヘトヘトだぜ。
I hope so. I'm already exhausted.
もう出られる？この街を。
I can leave this town now?
ええ、出られるわ。
Yeah, get the hell out of here.
まあ、しばらく
Leave
は
us
お
alone.
手にされるだろうけれどね。あんたの協力がないと連中は何もできないんだから、待遇はマシなものになるとは思うわよ。
Yes, you can get out. Well, you'll probably be held prisoner for a while, though. But they can't do anything without your cooperation, so you'll be treated well, I think.
地球へようこそなのです。この地で一緒に仲良く花を咲かせましょうです。もちろん田村姫の御事とも仲良く。
Une, welcome to Earth. Let's both bloom together here on this planet. With Tamura Hime no Mikoto as well, of course.
嬉しいです。感謝。羽生。
I'm so happy. Thank you, Hanyu. Something tells me it's not over yet. Something tells me there's still at least one more bad turn the story needs to take. Something bad needs to happen. Not enough bad reveals here. Early the next morning, Une and the others were in the school courtyard designated over the radio. Roughly 30 of the Sonozaki group's toughest men were surrounding them and glaring in all directions. A helicopter was approaching. Une was the only one being extracted. This has got to be like a JRPG where, like, Takano comes back, but she's, like, fused forms with the Tamura into, like, this giant, like, godlike being. Just towering over Hinamizawa. The final form, JRPG boss. A helicopter was approaching. Une was the only one being extracted.
達者でね。これで助けてもらった恩が返せたよ。
Take care. We've paid you back for saving us now.
あなたの体の秘密でみんなが救われるといいね。
I hope you managed to save everyone with your body's secret.
お世話 したのです。
Thank you for taking care of me. Une was forced to wear airtight clothes. All the JSDF men riding in the helicopter were in them too.
私たちだけ置いてけぼりなんてちょっと残念ですわね。
It's a slight shame how we're being left behind, though.
申し訳ないね。N1 なじゃない。この病気の正体がわかるまで僕たちは外に出るわけにはいかないんだ。
I'm sorry, N17. No, until we understand the cause of this illness, we can't be allowed to leave.
うねちゃんは一見落着でも、俺たちはまだまだサバイバルが続きそうだぜ。
So even though everything's settled with Une-chan, we're still stuck in survival mode for now?
まあここにいる限りは安全です。おかしな病気もどんどん静まっていくと思いますし。
Well, you'll be safe as long as you stay here. I think this strange illness will settle down after time. Or
行
over
か
time.
れた連中は頭数を減らしています。じきに
Overtime.
町も静寂を取り戻すでしょう。
There's fewer of those crazy people already. Peace will soon return to the city. The rioters who handed their hearts over to demons continue to kill each other without getting tired of it. But like I said, eventually they'd kill themselves off and things would quiet down. From what Toмотake heard over the radio, they were already preparing to send aid to Shishibone City, and food, water, and other necessities would be transported by air. Such an incredibly large uproar couldn't be wrapped up that easily, but we had our light of hope. Une was the key.
ありがとうなのです。
Thank you.
しっかり頑張るのですよ。あなたをこの星に迎えられて嬉しいのです。
Do your best out there. I'm happy to welcome you to this planet.
我も嬉しいのです。超嬉しいのです。
That was certainly a laugh. I'm happy too. I'm super happy. Ugly laugh. Une waved her hand from the helicopter flying away. The club members all waved innocently back at her. Only Rika absent-mindedly watched her go. She was pondering something she couldn't explain in Une's smile as she left. Afterward, she was transferred to Tokyo's facility, the National Institute of Infectious Diseases. With the disaster already reaching several 100,000 people, it was no longer possible to cover up the existence of Hinamizawa syndrome. The world was in an uproar over this mysterious virus, capable of making humans randomly go violent. Of course, the secret research institution of the major nations that knew about neuroparasites were paying attention to the progress of the current neuroparasite biohazard. They dispatched many researchers to help, because there was no guarantee it would remain solely Japan's problem once it reached that point. Samples of Une's cerebrospinal fluid were taken and transported to the most classified research labs in each nation.
我の種がこの青い花壇の隅々にまで行き届いたのです。嬉しい、超嬉しいのです。
Have they made a mistake? My seeds have reached every corner of this blue flower bed. I'm happy. I'm super happy. Blah, 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 blah. And the world died.
愚かなる角の民の長よ。あの恐ろしき不浄なる民を世界に解き放つことの罪深さにおののくなりや。
Foolish leader of the Horned People, tremble in fear at your sin of unleashing that terrifyingly corrupt people upon our world.
もう手遅れなのですよ。高野と田村の悪い目論みはもうおしまいなのです。あわわ
It's already too late. Yoran Takano's evil plot's finished now. Ow, 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 ow.
田村姫の御事、言いたいことがあるなら言ったら。あんたは一体何がしたかったの？高野はあんたの巫女だった。高野はあんたの命令に従って何かをしようとしていた。それは何なの？
Tamura Hime no Mikoto. If you have something you want to say, why not say it? What was it you were trying to achieve? Takano was your priestess, so Takano was following your orders and trying to accomplish some specific task. What was it?
聞くまでもないことなのです。 畝に意地悪して、その上ひなみ沢症候群をまき散らして世界を大混乱にさせることだったのですよ。
That's not even worth asking. She was bullying Une and trying to spread Hinamizawa syndrome everywhere to sow chaos. Ow!
そこが意味わかんないのよ。羽生たちひなみ沢症候群は不浄の民なんでしょ。それをどうして田村が高野にばらまかせるわけよ。
That doesn't make sense though. Hanyu, the syndrome is a tainted people to her, right? So why would Tamura have Takano spread them elsewhere? Oh?
富武が言うには、高野は人類を救うために悪魔を倒すと言っていた。そして N173 をばらまこうとしてた。
Toмотake said that Takano was going to defeat a devil, and in doing so save humanity. Then she started spreading N173.
人類を救おうとしてみたり、滅ぼそうとしてみたり、矛盾してはいるけど、どうせイカれた高野の妄想に違いないからと気にはしなかったけど、それが全てカメラの命令だとすると意味がないわけがない。
She's both trying to save humanity and trying to destroy it. These goals contradict each other, but I didn't pay it any mind because I was sure it was just one of Takano's crazy delusions. But if it was all as Tamura ordered, then none of it was meaningless.
愚かなる角の民の巫女ごときに、それも人の子風情に話したところでわからぬなりや。愚かしいこと。
A mere child of man, let alone the priestess of the foolish horned people, wouldn't understand, even if I were to tell you. Ah, how foolish you are.
私を見くびらないでちょうだ。こいつと違って私の頭の中身はシュークリームじゃないのよ。
Please don't look down on me. Unlike her, my head isn't filled with cream puffs.
リカ、僕には何のことかさっぱりわからないのですよ。
Rika, I don't understand what you're getting at all.
角の民のことを毛嫌いする田村がなぜ角の民を拡散させようとしたのか。まさか。
Tamura loathes the horned people, so why would she try to spread them outside of Hinamizawa? It can't be. The horned people and Une's people had equally strong roots. On top of that, Tamura called Une a devil. And she told Takano that she would save humanity.
あんたはウネを拡散させないために高野に N173 をばらまかせた。
You had Takano spread N173, so Une couldn't spread herself?
そうよね。だってウネに感染すれば N173 に感染しないように、逆もしかり N173 に感染すればウネには感染しない。
Yes, after all, just as those infected by Une couldn't be infected by N173, the reverse was also true. If you infected them with N173, they couldn't be infected by Une.
でも僕たちに感染すると心の弱い者は大変なことになってしまいますのですよ。でもウネならその心配はないのです。
But if she infects them with us, then those with weak minds will be in big trouble. There's no worry about that with Une, though.
どうしてその心配がないってわかるのよ。あんたがウネと交信して勝手にそうだと確信しただけでしょ。つまりウネの言い分を鵜呑みにしただけじゃないの。
How do you know that? You just convinced yourself that's the case after communicating with Une, right? In other words, you just accepted Une's claims without questions, haven't you? How?
なるほど。長の愚かさまでは巫女に感染せなんだと見えるものなりや。
I see. It appears the leader's foolishness has not infected her priestess.
つまりあんたは背を腹には変えられない決断をしたわけだわ。あんたの土地の一部、つまり獅子骨氏を丸ごと不浄の民に汚染されてもその方がまだマシだという判断をしたわけだわ。
That means that you made a hard choice. You decided that handing over a portion of your land, the entirety of Shishibone City, to the tainted people was at least preferable to that.
そうよね。じゃあつまりあんたはあいつのウネのことを知ってるのね。
Isn't that right? Which means that you knew about Une, didn't you?
あれは母なる大地に大いなる災いを呼ぶ呪われし種の一族なりや。
Hers is an accursed race which brought forth great catastrophe upon our motherland. What a twist. Laugh, 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 laugh. This is super fun. Hanyu is fucking clueless. Hanyu delusional. Une, it's been a while.
愚かなりし羽生よ。そやつの本性を知り、己が罪に恐れおののき立てまつれ。
Foolish Hanyu. Know her true nature and tremble with terror at your sin.
田村姫の御事、何時には超やられましたのですよ。我、目覚めて開花しようとしたら、すでに花がそこの間抜け面の花でいっぱいだったとは。
Tamarahime no Mikoto, you totally pulled a fast one on me. The moment I awoke and tried to bloom, the flower bed around me was already filled with that fool's flowers.
そうでしょうね。そこのシュークリーム頭は何の役にも立たない雑草だけど、あんたでも倒せないくらいにその根は強い。
I'm sure she did get you good. This cream puff for brains is a useless weed, but her roots are strong enough that you couldn't beat them.
あんたは早速感染を爆発させようとしたけれど、高野が事前に N1 の3をばらまいていたので、それができなかったわけだわ。
You tried to make your infection explode through the population, but since Takano had already spread N173, you couldn't do that.
我、超途方に暮れていたのです。そこへのこのこと我の話を信じてくれそうな間抜けな民の長が現れたのです。
I was at a total loss, but then a dumbass who believed my story just happened to show up. Even though her brain was an empty cream puff, lacking even in cream, she finally realized that she'd been tricked. Hanyu had believed that they understood everything about each other after her communication with Une. Hanyu had openly shared everything about herself because she was so simple, but that wasn't the case for Une. She cleverly hid her true nature and her terrifying plot to deceive Hanyu.
ということは、田村姫の御事、あんたは見破ってたのね。
Which means, Tamarahime no Mikoto, you saw through her, didn't you?
その呪われた民の長の企みなど、我が眼力を騙せはせぬものなりと知りたまえ。
Know that the plot from the leader of such accursed people could never deceive my insight. Tamara had known what Une was after. Une's goal was to propagate herself throughout every corner of this blue planet's huge flower bed.
それじゃあ、あんたたちが滅びちゃうもんね。だから戦わなければならない。かつて、羽生たちと戦ったようにね。
If she did that, then you all would perish, huh? So you had to fight, just like you once fought Hanyu's people. Hanyu said Tomura was once mean to her, but that probably wasn't her just being mean. From Tomura's perspective, she was likely fighting to protect herself. Fortunately, they learned Hanyu's people couldn't live outside of Hinamizawa, so they managed to maintain 1,000 years of peace by avoiding each other. However, if a that smirk. However, if a new people that weren't bound to such a small area came here.
なるほど。あんたにとっては確かに悪魔というわけだわ。そして、それを食い止めるために高野を使った。
I see. To you, she certainly would be a devil, and so you used Takano to stop her.
でも、人類を滅ぼす悪魔は言い過ぎね。あんたを滅ぼす悪魔かもしれないけど、人間たちは自分の頭に誰が寄生してるかなんて知りもしないし関心もないわ。
But calling her a devil that'll destroy humanity is going too far. She might be a devil that would destroy you, but the humans don't know or care what parasite is living in their heads. Which parasite?
やはり角の民の巫女では、その程度の理解までが限界なりや。愚かなり。
I suppose that's the limit of the understanding of the Horn People's priestess. Foolish. Oh.
もう超 手遅れなのですよ。愚かなる民たちよ。この星は我らが超食い尽くすのです。
It's super too late now, you idiots. We're totally consuming this whole planet.
さあ目覚めなさい。我が子らよ。我が種子よ。その根を世界中に下ろし、咲き誇り、花開きて種を飛ばすがよい。
Now, awaken, my children, my seeds. Sink your roots into this world and bloom, bloom, and spread yourselves wide. Une spread her arms like she was spreading a pair of wings, and issued her orders to all of her children scattered throughout the whole world. The children of man couldn't quarantine Une's seeds with their mere concept of disease prevention. The humans researching her across the world were already infected. America, Georgia State, Atlanta. Oh, that's really... that was really a weird way of writing that, in theory. And then, like, it's basically just saying Atlanta, Georgia, located in America. But my mind especially went America, Georgia State, and then my head thinks of the university that's called Georgia State. And then it said Atlanta, and I was like, wait, it's just saying... America's Centers for Disease Control and Prevention was a fortress on the front lines protecting humanity from viral infections, and also the highest world authority on the subject. Yet in a secret ward, the Neuroparasite Research Division, they were researching her children. They were researching it with the greatest precautions and most modern equipment. But the techniques of mere mortals were unable to stop the spread of the children of a god. Uh-oh. The head researcher first collapsed on a bus on his day off. They really fucked up now. People rushed to his aid one after another and collapsed as well until the driver also lost consciousness. Fortunately, the bus was already stopped. Yet this wasn't a silver lining, because neither humanity or even inhuman beings possessed the means to stop the spread of Une's children. The same thing happened in Sverdlovsk Oblast within the Russian Federation, right in, oh boy, Yekaterinburg's secret biological weapon research center. Of course, it also happened in Japan's National Institute of Infectious Diseases within Shinjuku, Tokyo, as well as in other research centers in England, France, China, Korea, and other nations, too. And then they traveled through the transportation technology that humanity had foolishly overdeveloped, spreading to all lands throughout the world. However, humanity lacked the means to notice it at all. Roughly 2 weeks after the initial spread of infection, when Une's children had spread throughout every corner of the globe, the first symptoms developed. The infected, though at this point the infected and all humanity were synonymous, they learned from the very first time that they were all infected with something unknown to them. People were afflicted with intense drowsiness, and one after another they crumpled and fell asleep on the spot. They had become a seed bed. Once they finished consuming all the nutrients of their hosts, they broke out through the host's body, spread more seeds, and consumed all of humanity. Because Une's people had no intention of coexisting with humanity at all. Once they had consumed their flower bed, they would travel through space once more and search for the next. An accursed people indeed. 7 weeks after the initial infection, humanity's population was reduced to 20% of its former size. Jesus. Of course, even that 20% was being cold as well. Then they would once more return to space and search for an organism with a brain to host them. Afterward, only the hosts of the Horned People, who couldn't be infected by that accursed people, would remain on Earth. Which means that only those people in this region, who Takano had infected with N173 and had not turned their hearts over to a demon, managed to survive. There were far too few humans remaining to maintain civilized society, so eventually they too would perish completely. How is this gonna recover?
超最高超なのですよ
I like this music. Also, her personality, now that it's like exposed, she's got a bit of what's her face to her from Umineko. For all my Umineko enjoyers and readers from prior. What was her fucking name? Was it Lambda Delta? No, not Lambda Delta. Fuck. Why can't I remember her? The fucking... Oh, it's gonna bother me if I don't recall it, or if I at least look it up. Oh, fuck. The name of the little annoying girl... that came and was just a piece of shit. Oh, yeah, Erica. Erica, right? That is not what I typed. I'm gonna go... Yeah. She's got a tinge of like Erica from Umineko to me. I don't have Erica on the OBS, do I right now? What is this? No, that's something else. No, no, no. No, no, go away. Hey, go away. That's not what I need. Where? But yeah. Erica from Umineko. I gotta be honest, some characters, even though Erica was quite prominent, especially in the back half of Umineko, and I loved Umineko just from last year and all. Now that we're getting into the extracurricular stories of Higurashi and everything, like, names and personalities are starting to, like, blend. I'm, like, so entrenched. I'm, like, it's like they're all just meshing at a rate incomprehensible to mortal men. But yes, now that we're seeing this kind of personality out of her, she screams Erica to me. Just in this little taste that we got of her. Anyway, super fun, super happy, super awesome, super duper, super... Une?
星をすべて食いつぶすの超楽しいです。
Consuming everything is my people's only entertainment, and I mean consuming an entire planet is super fun.
我の民が追い尽くした以上、もう誰も我の邪魔などできないのです。この星の弱々しい花どもなど、我の前には熱々のコーヒーに落とした氷砂糖よりも超儚い。
Once my people have consumed them all, no one will be able to get in our way. When faced with me, the weak flowers of this planet are like sugar lumps before her hot coffee. Are like sugar lumps before hot coffee. Okay, I understand.
やってくれるじゃない。弱々しい素振りを見せて、私たちをうまく使うなんて上等じゃない。
Oh, thank you so much. Good morning. Subscribed 22 months. The big 2-2s. 2-2s. Thank you so much. Also, good morning to you as well. You sure done it now. You pretend to be weak so you could use us to advance your plans. Well done. I couldn't fool Tamurahime no Mikoto. She was clever.
我が輩を侮るなかれ。これでもこの大和の国を滑る民の長と知りたまえ。
Do not underestimate me. Know that I'm the leader of the people ruling over this nation of Yamato.
なると、そこの角頭とその巫女、お前らは超ちょろい。神が愚かなら巫女も愚か。二人まとめて超愚かなのです。
Get that hornhead and her priestess. You two were super easy to fool. Laugh, 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 laugh. When the god's a fool, so is a priestess. You two were both super dumb. Laugh, 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 laugh.
神も無能で巫女も無能。
役にも立たず、何の力も持たず、何の神通力も持たず役立たずの神なのです。超間抜け。
God, it's even the laugh. It's the personality, but it's the constant laughing that is just like Erica from Umineko too. When the god's incompetent, so is the priestess. You're a useless god with nothing useful to your name. No power, no supernatural power either. You're a super Dumbo. Ah! Laugh, 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 laugh. I'm doing alright. You know what? I'm doing alright. It was a chilled Saturday. How's your day been? Hopefully equally at least chill. What is this? She's ticking me off 5 times as much as Tamura. I really agree. It's really annoying to hear us called incompetent.
全くにもって無能と知りたてまつれ。不浄の民改め、間抜けの民め。お前など、まんじゅうの角に頭をぶつけて死んでしまいなり。
Know that you are indeed incompetent. You are tainted people, now foolish people. You should hit your head on a steamed bun and die. Die, die, die. Stuck in indie game hell. Well, I mean, if you're stuck in any kind of hell, at least indie game hell sounds like one of the least worst ones. Let's read go to the next one. Well, I never knew that Une was going to destroy the world. It's not my fault. You know that all other races are enemies, yet you just handed it over to her. There's a limit to how stupid one can be. Downloaded VC4 and apparently had played Mission 1, although you remember nothing of it. Oh, nice. Wait, just Mission 1? So you just barely started it, and then you were like, not right now. However long ago that was. Also, yeah, join me in playing Valkyria Chronicles. Omsi loops. What is that? Let me see. Idle game with time loops. Interesting. Oh, we read that one. Oh, you could have just told us that, Tamura. So it's your fault, Tamura. Fight. Be quiet. I will not listen to your tainted people. The girlies are fighting. Laugh. This is super fun. Laugh. Perish, you stupid gods of this blue flower bed. You stupid humans, you're competent priestesses too. Une laughed loudly while Hanyu and Tamura insulted each other like children. I'm sure Rika is having a ball with all this. It seemed quite pathetic that this was a fight between gods who had brought about the extinction of humanity. Rika placed a hand on her forehead like she was enduring a headache, but her frustration was winning at that particular moment.
別に世界が滅ぶとかどうでもいいの。ただどうしても許せないことはただ一つ。
Listen, I don't consider myself a human, and I don't care if our world is destroyed. But there's one thing I just can't forgive.
この幾百の死の山々を越えてきたフルで理科に向かって無能呼ばわりしてくれたことよ。
The fact that you looked at me, Rika Furude, who has overcome the mountain that is hundreds of deaths, and called me incompetent.
無能って言葉はね、肝心な時に温泉行ってるような男に使うものよ。
The term incompetent is what used for a man who goes off to the hot spring at a critical moment.
我に立ち向かうつもりか？人の子風情が。我超笑えるのです。
Is that a like a word joke? Whatever. You intend to oppose me? You, a mere child of man? That's super funny. Rika pulled something out of nowhere that glinted with a silver light. Are they just gonna fight in combat? What is that?
知らないの？包丁よ。調理器具よ。料理といけすかないやつを切り刻むのに最適な道具よ。
Don't you know? It's a kitchen knife, a cooking tool, perfect instrument for chopping up food, and detestable people.
我超笑えるのです。人の子の道具でこの我に立ち向かうつもりなのですか？
Yeah, cut her open.
笑えるです。
I'm super laughing right now. How do you plan on fighting me with a tool of mankind? That's super funny. Super. Is it hard to explain what these characters are? I mean, without the past context, a little hard without taking too much time. But she's just, this is, I mean, I would assume you're saying this one and then the pink-haired one, but they're basically on the same level as Hanyu. They're basically different Hanyus, if that makes any sense. They're like, they're on that level of like goddom. they're just like they're on that line. And because Rika is who she is, she can see them and experiences it too, and she's been pulled into this whole thing. Honestly, this story has this story that we've been reading since Tuesday, and I guess technically the first part was an outbreak the week before, but like we just tonight is when we've jumped like the shark type level. Like we have it drastically changed what was happening into now like a completely different story. It's very honestly strange and bizarre, especially with the reveal that this is a person who sucks apparently. Did I read that line? I'm super laughing right now. How do you plan on fighting me with a tool of mankind? Okay, also, I've determined that Une, in my head, is basically Erika from Umineko. It's like the same personality now. From the perspective of humans, those inhuman beings were like a moon on the water's surface. She could swing a weapon all she wanted in the world of man, but it wouldn't even disturb the water's surface, let alone harm the moon floating in the sky. However, for them to manifest in the world of man, they required a priestess. To put into human terms, they required a queen carrier as a host. If she defeated Une's queen carrier, was that correct to say? Or was it better to say Une herself? Then she could at least deal a decisive blow to her.
しかしながら我の体は汝の手の超届かぬところなのです。獅子骨市を出ることさえできぬ汝には指一本触れられはしないのです。
However, my body is super beyond your reach. You can't even leave Shishibone City, so you can't lay a finger on her.
我が輩の民もほとんどは討ち取られ、あやつがどこにいるのかもわからぬ。獅子骨に閉じ込められているうちに討ち取ることができれば、この不常習クリームのせいで。
Nearly all of my people have been taken captive. I have no idea where she is at present. If only I could have taken her down while she was trapped in Shishibone. Thanks to this tainted cream puff.
やかましいのです。ご飯の一杯くらいで1000年も恨むなど、本当に田村のなんちゃらは心が狭いのですよ。
That's enough. Honestly, it's your fault for being so petty, Tamara, and holding a 1,000-year grudge over a single meal.
我が輩に奉納された米は一粒であってもくれてはやらぬなりや。
I'll never give you a single grain of rice that has been dedicated to me.
僕はお腹がペコペコだったのですよ。少しくらい施せなのです。
I was starving. You could have spared a little.
よしなさいよ。
Rika's like, get me the hell out of here.
それにね、戦いはまだ終わっちゃいないわ。
Stop it, you two. Besides, this battle isn't over yet.
ほう、我が世界を超覆い尽くした今、何時だけでどう歯向かおうというのですか？超笑えることです。戦いはまだ終わっていない。すでに完全に超終わった戦いだというのにです。
Oh, and how are you going to face me by yourself when I've super enveloped your entire world? That's super funny. Battle isn't over? This battle's totally super over already.
そうね、確かに戦いはすでに終わってるわ。あんたたちの概念ではね。でもね、私の概念では戦いはまだ終わってないの。
You're right. This battle is over already. As far as you two can conceive. But from my perspective, it isn't over yet.
いいえ、正確にはあんたが本性を表してくれた時点で戦いは終わったわけかしら。私の勝利でね。
No, perhaps it's more accurate to say this battle was over the moment you revealed your true nature. It's over, and it's my victory. Ow?
そなたの巫女はわけのわからぬことを申すなりや。この状況からどうやって世界を救うと申すなりや。
What nonsense is your priestess spouting? How can she possibly save the world in this situation?
我こそ聞きたい、超聞きたい。
I want to know. I super want to know.
僕こそ聞きたいのです。もう手遅れなのですよ。世界は滅んでしまうのですよ。どうやってここから世界を救うのですか？
I'm the one who wants to know. It's already too late. The world's ending. How are we going to save this world now?
あのね、あんたが分かってなくてどうすんのよ。あんた、こいつの使い方忘れたの？
Hey, how can you not understand? Have you forgotten how this is used?
はお？包丁で畝の土玉をかち割るのですか？
Oh? You're going to hack open Ume's head with the knife?
仮にも神ならば、畝の頭部を中すると申したまえ。
If she were not a god, I would command you to behead Une indeed.
あんたらは二人揃ってクリーム抜きシュークリーム頭ね。この包丁の使い方を今教えてあげるわ。
You two both have your heads filled with cream-free cream puffs. I'll teach you how this knife is used, right now.
ほう、それは超何の真似なの
It's a magic knife. Oh? And what do you think you're doing? What do you totally think you're doing?
あんたの敗因は私に本体の正体と居場所を特定させたことよ。
The cause of your defeat was revealing to me your true identity and whereabouts.
畝が今どこにいるのかわかるのですか？田村でさえわからないのにどうやって？
Huh? You know where Une is right now? How do you know when even Tamura doesn't?
しかし仮に分かったとて、ここにいなければ撃てる手はなきものと知りたまえ。
Still, even if you did know, you gotta know there's nothing you can do if she's not here.
今どこにいるかなんてどうでもいいの。あの時沖宮にいた。それだけが分かれば私には十分なのよ。
Doesn't matter where she is right now. Back then, she was here in Okinomiya. That's all I need to know.
我には何を言ってるのか超さっぱりなのです。
What are you saying? I super don't get it.
一個だけ教えてあげるわ。あんたの敗因よ。
Let me tell you something. You're going to lose.
てめえは私を怒らせた。
Because you made me mad. Never doubt Rika. Let's go back. Back to the moment Une became aware of the other Une and awakened her on this planet. It was a day before Takano started spreading N173. Since Une had just awoken, her presence was still faint. Tamura had yet to grasp her whereabouts. Une had learned how weak Tamura's roots were, and she was making preparations to bloom at once and spread her people everywhere. Tamura had given up on discovering Une's whereabouts and welcomed Takano as her priestess, to prepare her bitter plan of stopping Une's explosive spread. Her plan of having Takano spread N173 before Une could, which meant that at present, neither Une nor Takano had spread anything at all. The world had yet to reach the point of no return. In other words, if Une's ambition could be halted on this day, then it would all end before it started. But that was impossible. Without a time machine. That's right, time machine!
我超目覚めたのです。田村姫の御事は騙せなかったですが、どうでもいいこと。あんな根が超弱いやつ気にせず、思い切りこの星を乗っ取って超食い尽くすのです。
I've super woken up. I couldn't fool Tamura Hime no Mikoto, but that doesn't matter. I don't need to worry about someone with such weak roots as I move on to take over this planet, super consume it. Super. Une's ambition of conquering the world with her people was born here in the small town of Okinomiya in rural Japan. No one in the world had noticed this terrifying resolve just yet. However... Huh?
こんにちは。あなたがうねちゃんかな。
Good afternoon. Are you Uni-chan? Are you?
何時？誰なのです？
Who are you?
レナ、見つけたのか？おお、確かにこの子だ。
Rina, did you find her? Oh, this must be her.
おお、確かに確かに。
What are they gonna... What is happening? Oh, it is. She looks exactly like she did in the portrait.
リカって結構絵がお上手なんですのね。驚きましたよ。
Rika's pretty good at drawing, isn't she? I'm quite surprised. The older girl with a ponytail held up a sketchbook with a portrait that looked exactly like me. I was suddenly surrounded and didn't understand why. They're gonna beat her to death. They're gonna gang up on her. I finally found you, Une.
どちら様でしょう。
Who might you be?
初対面は数週間後になるけどね。でも私はつい先日会ったばかりよ。まあ私の言うつい先日ってのは数ヶ月くらいのことだけれどね。今日が1日しかないもんだから随分とあんた探しに手こずらせてもらったわ。
Our first time meeting would normally be some weeks from now, but I only met you just the other day. Well, while I say just the other day, I mean several months ago. I only had today to find you, so I had a hard time searching for you, Une.
僕とリカを侮らないことなのですよ。うね。そなたの地球征服の野望はすでにお見通しなのです。
Phew. You shouldn't underestimate me and Rika, Une. You've already seen your ambition for world conquest.
我の野望どうして見破られているのです。
How did you see through my ambition?
ねえ。
Magic.
砂の民の長とその巫女の能力無能じゃないでしょ。ちょっと気が長くなるくらいめんどくさいだけで私から見れば無能はあんたの方なんだからね。
See, the leader of the Horned People and her priestess aren't so powerless or incompetent after all, huh? It's just so tiresome it wears on the patience a bit, but from my point of view, you're the incompetent one. Pika!
これこそはフルデ神社最具伝に伝わる紙縛りの秘宝。
Flash! This is the ancient god-binding treasure normally kept in the Frude Shrine's ritual storehouse.
さあみんな、このしめ縄で踏んじばってしまうのですよ。ニパー。
Now everyone, bind her up in this sacred rope. Nipa! Oh, what are we doing? For the love of God. Fucking... You're binding me in circles! Ah! Get me off the screen. What are we doing? This story went from really serious to just absurdity. So quick. Oh, to think you'd find Une so easily when I couldn't uncover her. You have my thanks, children of man.
出ましたのですね、田村姫の御事。
You've shown yourself, Tamurahime no Mikoto.
ちなみにあんたも有罪だからね。あんたがくだらないプライドを捨てて私たちに助力を仰いでいたらあの大災害の必要はなかったんだからね。
By the way, you're equally guilty. If you just let go of your pride and asked us for help, you wouldn't have needed to cause such a huge disaster in the first place.
我が輩はこれでも誇り高き田村姫の御事。野蛮で不浄なる角の民に借りなど作らぬと知りたてまつれ。
I'm the proud Tamurahime no Mikoto. Know that I would never indebt myself to the savage and tainted horn people.
というわけで有罪ね。
That's why you're just as guilty.
ピカ
Flesh! Oh, Jesus.
なんと紙縛りの秘宝とはあれ
What? The god binding treasure? Ah!
ーン。さあ、これで今回の騒ぎの首謀者をすべて逮捕できたのですよ。
Well, that was the thing. They always thought, like, from the beginning, Tamura was painted as the evil one. And then it was like, oh no, it's Une who's the evil one. And no, it's just whatever. Just finish the story. Now we've captured all the ringleaders of this commotion. Ow!
そもそもあんたと田村が仲違いをしてなければ防げた惨劇よ。あんたたちご飯の一杯で喧嘩したみたいなことを言ってたわね。
This was a tragedy that could have been prevented if you and Tamura weren't on bad terms in the first place. You said the two of you fought over a single meal, right?
僕は悪くないのですよ。田村がケチケチしてるからいけないのです。あれだけたくさんお供えされてるのですから、少しくらい僕がもらっても罰は当たらないのです。
It's not my fault. Tamura shouldn't have been so stingy. She had so much being offered her. Wouldn't have hurt her to share a bit with me.
つまりあんたが泥棒したってことでしょうが。というわけであんたも有罪。
In other words, you stole it from her, so you're just as guilty.
ピカ
Flash!
ーン。だからしめ縄を3本持ってきたのですか？ハーリー！
Is this why you brought 3 circuit ropes with you? What was the tragedy? It was basically like they made an analogy of like the planting. I should get this off the screen first. So they made the analogy of like the fact that they're like plants, right? But almost like the fact that they're like weeds. And so as they infected as like a virus and spread throughout the world, it wiped out people. So right before this, when the tragedy actually took place, it was described as 80% of the world's people being wiped out.
あんたたち神様なんでしょ。あんたたちの騒ぎに巻き込まれて迷惑
However you want to make that make sense in your head.
ちょっと考えてほしいね。
It was basically it's another virus thing, but a virus that was somehow killing the hosts, which is the people of the planet. So it spread so rapidly and just caused so much destruction before they went back in time. Then right here that we just saw, it just wiped out everyone. I mean, it is what it is. We heard the whole story from Rika-chan. You're all gods, right? I should give it a little consideration to the humans you're endangering.
未然に防げたからいいけど、大変な騒ぎになってたかもしれないんでしょ？
It's good that we prevented it ahead of time, but this might have turned into a terrible disaster, you know?
大変も何も僕が身をもって体験してきたのですよ。
It wasn't just terrible, I experienced it firsthand.
とにかくだ。神様同士、仲良くしてくれなきゃ困るぜ。
Anyway, it's not good for us if you gods don't get along with each other.
しかし
Still, they're awfully cute gods, aren't they? I imagine they'd have much scarier faces.
はわわ我こそはお社様なのですよ。この扱いはあんまりなのです。
Oh, I am Oishiro-sama. This treatment isn't fair.
おのれ人の子らめ、我が輩を敬わずに可愛いとは言語道断と知りたてまつれ。
Why, you, children of man. It is outrageous to show me such disrespect and call me cute.
我の世界征服の野望がどうして知られたのですか。超納得できないのです。
How did you know about my ambition to conquer the world? I totally can't accept this.
うねちゃんはどうして世界を滅ぼそうなんて物騒なことを考えたの。
Uni-chan, why were you plotting to destroy our world in the first place?
我全部食い尽くすのが超大好きなのです。
Because we super love consuming everything.
それで全てを食べ尽くして滅ぼして次の星に出会うまでどれくらいかかるの。
So then what about after you consumed and ruined everything? How long does it take for you to find a new planet?
気の遠くなるような時間がかかるんじゃない。その間一人ぼっちで寂しいんじゃないかな。
It takes long enough to drive you crazy, doesn't it? And I'm betting you're feeling lonely that whole time, aren't you? Aren't you?
でも田村が出ていけと言うから我超頭にきて最初は静かに暮らそうかと思ったのです。
But Tamura told me to get out. That super ticked me off. At first I thought about living here peacefully.
田村の意地悪が全ての元凶なのですよ。
Tamura's bullying is the root of all evil.
そなたらがウネを市外に脱出させたことこそが致命的なりや。
Y'all would have made the fatal mistake of letting Une escape the city.
つまりだ、ウネが世界を滅ぼそうとしたのはこの星から出ていけと田村姫の御事に言われたからと。
So in short, Une decided to destroy the world because Tamurahime no Mikoto told her to get off this planet.
はいなのです。
Yes, that's right.
で田村ちゃんは喧嘩したお社様こと羽生ちゃんに相談せずに立ちの悪い方法で解決しようとしたと。
So then Tamura-chan refused to talk to Hanyu-chan or Oyashiro-sama about it because they fought and decided to resolve it herself using terrible methods?
不浄の民の手など借りたくなかったなりや。
I didn't want to borrow any help from the tainted people.
そもそもの不仲の原因は羽生さんのお供え泥棒に端を発するわけですよね。
Yet the whole reason they're on bad terms in the first place is because Hanyu-san stole some of her offerings, right?
僕のせいですか。僕が一番の元凶扱いは納得できませんのですよ。はわわ
It's my fault. I can't believe you're treating me like I'm the main cause of all this. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, I have the feeling this is wrapping up pretty soon. And I keep making mention of this, I can't get over the tonal whiplash of this whole thing. We spent basically, if we go back to Outbreak, which was the first section, it was like a continuation of this story, Kamikashimashi. And then we've been reading this over like the last 4 streams, basically. Just the tonal whiplash from the, like, if we consider like, it's been like a total of like 4 streams or something. The 3 streams of what and where we left at, where it was like super dark and dire, and the tone, it was like, oh shit, fuck. Oh man, the world is collapsing, mobs and riots in the streets. How are the kids in the club gonna get themselves out of this one? And then tonight's stream has all just been, for lack of a better term, nonsense. And it all just resolves itself into, oh, it was just a petty squabble between these 3 gods, 2 of which were new characters to this story. It's insane. It was actually interesting the first couple of streams. I was like, oh shit, this thing, you know, it's like a tonal different, it was like dark, and people were getting shot and killed and shit, and like, and now they're all just like, oh, well, it's fine. It's all good. Oh, how did we resolve this issue? between these gods? Oh, Rika, she just went back in time, located Une, and just tied her up, prevented her from doing her thing from the beginning. Oh yeah, she has the power to go back in time. Remember that? Rika can just do that, so that she just did that, and then it was done. Bye-bye consequences. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be expecting much, but like, it's just weird. I already read that. Okay.
静粛に。被告の言い分は分かったよ。つまりは、あんたたち3人が仲良くしなかったからいけないわけだね。
Yes, yes, quiet. We've heard the defendant's excuses. To sum up, you're all at fault because you three couldn't get along.
うねちゃんだって長い孤独な旅の末に地球にたどり着いたわけだし、田村ちゃんも少しは受け入れてあげてもよかったんじゃないかな。
Une-chan finally made it here to Earth after a long, isolated journey, too. I think Tamura-chan could have tried to accept it a bit more. Just a bit.
田村姫の御事もさ、お供え物を勝手に食われた恨みはわかるけどよ。それで千年仲違いで、この肝心な時に相談も協力もせず、独断的な方法に訴えるってのは、あまり褒められたもんじゃねえな。
And Tamura-hime no Mikoto, I can understand you might resent her for eating your offering, but to stay on bad terms for 1,000 years and then refuse to consult her or ask for help in a time of need, only to ultimately take drastic actions on your own, isn't very praiseworthy either, you know? My expectations were raised, and it feels like a massive cop-out. Sorta! Like I was saying, I shouldn't expect much from these, like, side, you know, arc stuff. But I don't know, it started off as like, oh, this is an interesting, like, alternate fragment story thing. And I was like, cool, I thought there was going to be some, whatever the resolution was going to be, because I knew there would probably be a resolution of some sort. I was like, oh, it's going to be, you know, something interesting that they deal with in the real world and all that. And then it just ends up being this, like, a petty little squabble thing. Like, it just ends up goofy. And again, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be able to expect much. And, like, we've now read several different, you know, post-Higurashi story things. Like, Bus Stop was a very interesting one-shot thing that we did several streams ago. And that was just an interesting little side thing. But yeah, this just ends weird. It ends weird with such a build-up, because like I said, it's a continuation thing. So we've been doing this over a few streams, but it's like, not only that, but it's also like two separate breakout things. It's like Outbreak and then this. And so you're like, oh, it's building up to just end like this. It's just weird feeling. For starters, this whole problem became more complicated because Hanyu-san just refused to apologize. No one should get that mad just over just one meal. I will never reconcile with that starving, empty-headed cream puff. I just wanted you to share a little bit of this flower bed with me, yet you bullied me, Tamura. See? Did you see? This really is Tamura's fault. Yeah, pretty much. Une is the devil that would destroy everything. Une is the one to blame for all this. Also, not to fucking sound so cynical, but now that it ends like this, it just feels like a cheap excuse to introduce two more of these characters on par with fucking Hanyu. Like, two more of these nonsense characters. like it was just an excuse to have two more of these people pop up. two of these godlike characters. I'm just like, okay, they're here now too. They now exist. I think Tomora's hatred for the other races all started it when Hanyu went and stole food from her. If Hanyu hadn't done that, then Tomura wouldn't hate our outsiders, and she might have accepted me.
全くにもってその通りなりやと知りたてまつれ。このシュークリーム頭こそが元凶なりや。
You know, that is exactly right. This cream puff for brains is the cause of all this.
僕が元凶扱いなんて納得いかないのですよ。
I refuse to be treated like I'm the one to blame.
でい、静粛に。というわけで判決。
Ah, silence! Now, we'll hand out the verdict.
3人は等しく仲良く。
Oh, you're talking about in, like, Umineko?
部活ゲーム系に処す。
Oh, listen to this music, though. I feel like I just crossed the finish line of, like, a Mario Kart race. This is like, I just finished the Grand Prix. All three of you are equally guilty of the crime for failing to get along, so your punishment is having to play games in our club.
あんたたち3人で楽しくゲームをして交流を深めていざこざをすべて水に流してしまいましょうっていうフルデ神社の巫女の寛大なお沙汰よ。
The three of you can happily play games together and deepen your camaraderie, so you can all forgive and forget when it matters most. Consider this a generous sentence from the priestess of the Furude Shrine.
ゲームで楽しく親睦を深めてもらうだけですよ。
Oh, ho, ho, ho. You'll just be deepening your friendship over some fun games.
みんなで楽しく同じ経験をすれば仲もきっと良くなれると思うかな。
Once you've all had fun enjoying the same experiences, I'm sure you'll get along better. I'm sure.
神様だけじゃないぜ。俺たち人間も混じってワイワイと賑やかに行こうじゃねえか。
It won't just be you gods either. We humans will join in too, to really make this a lively affair.
ただし部活メンバーに接待プレーは存在しないけどね。
However, we club members never take it easy on opponents, do we?
神様の喧嘩に人間を巻き込んでくださったお礼をたっぷりお返しして差し上げましたよ。
We'll have to show you plenty of our gratitude for getting us humans caught up in your fight between gods.
神様の争いだけで私たちが参戦できないのは面白くないからね。人間を舐めちゃいけないってことをこの機会にたっぷり勉強してってもらおうと思ってね。
It's no fun when you gods fight by yourselves and we can't participate, so we'll take this opportunity to teach all three of you that you shouldn't take humans lightly, okay? Yeah, I'm sure they want to play some games.
人のこの遊戯ごときで遅れを取ると思ったなりや。
What fools! We are gods. We will not be defeated in some mere games of man.
我、人の子ごときに遅れなど超取らないのです。
I'll totally never be defeated by mere humans.
ほほう、それは神々への人の子の挑戦と受け取っていいのですね。
Oh, so you humans are challenging the gods?
僕たちも手加減はしませんのですよ。
Then we won't hold back either. Tamurahime no Mikoto was a steady player. Her style focused on defense more than offense, so she should have been a tough opponent. Why the hell is it telling me all this? I don't give a shit what her play style is like. I hope we never see this character again. I hope she gets banished to the Shadow Realm, and I never have to see her ever again. Une was likely to toy with us magnificently, using her sly tricks and fluid adaptability. Then Hanyu had her indecipherable dumb luck. She was the greatest opponent in a game involving chance. They were still gods. There was no reason for them to lose a game to humans. However, when it came to games, the club members weren't human either. There can't be much left. Oh, right as I say that. Oh, of Higurashi side stuff? I fear there's more than even I could expect. Well, okay, so all that's in theory, once we finish this is the, as far as I understand, the last of How Plus. So all that there's technically left is one side file, a separately downloaded copy of Chapter 4 that I have on my PC, that I then separately modded completely different from the regular Chapter 4 that has console arc stuff on it. But I don't actually know how much is in there. I don't know how extensive that is. At the extreme risk of sounding dramatic, I fear there's a lot. But it could be any amount. I would not know. It could be grand. Oh. Faked out. What? I gotta watch them play a game? Ooh, a post-credit scene. Just like my favorite movies. Well, since Tamura-chan's the dealer, she discards first. Know the powerful luck of the gods. I am discarding a green dragon, declaring double Riichi. Pardon me, Hand of Man, all green, 4 concealed triplets, single weight. That's 4 Yakuman, or 128,000 points. Ron for me too. Hand of Man, 7 pairs, red, red, door, door. So just a simple Yakumen for 32,000 points. Jesus. Whoa, 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 what? Hey, Tamura, still too early to cry. Triple Rons are allowed, right? Then a Ron for me too. Hand of Man, big 4 wins, all honors, 4 concealed triplets, single weight. That's 6 Yakumen straight from you for 192,000 points. Three 352,000 straight from me? That's impossible. Wham. Oh, ho, ho, ho. There's not enough to pay that, even if we collected all the point sticks on the table. Now, here's your punishment game outfit. Oh, and the crowd goes wild, apparently. I don't understand why I must bear such disgrace. Nipa, poor thing, poor thing. Pat, pat. Still, this is an incredible outfit. What's it even from? This is happening. Nipa, it's a dream collaboration with blah blah blah, so she can pretend to be an adult pro wrestler. If that's a reference to something I don't even want to know. Ta-da! Now I'm out. Oh ho ho ho! I'm out now too. I'm just 1 card away from totally being out.
の宣言してない。
Hold it. You didn't say Uno. Gawa. Super Gawa.
あらよっと、俺も上がり。
And there. I'm out too.
僕もこれで上がりなのですよ。ミパ
Now I'm out too. Nipa.
でこれで私が上がってリリッケツはうねちゃんに決定。
So now I'm out. Looks like last place goes to Uni-chan. This outfit is super embarrassing on me.
かわいそうなのです。
Nipa, poor thing, poor thing.
似合いすぎて逆に危ないですわね。ケイチさん、鼻血出すんじゃありませんの？
This is another cool outfit. What is this one from?
きっと富武たちにも大人気間違いなしなのですよ。
What? Google. What? It's an indecent outfit that came up when I Googled embarrassing outfits. Nipa!
僕は二人のようにはやられないのですよ。はあ。
Google exists in the canon of Higurashi. You won't take me down like you did those two. Ow, ow.
ではゲームを開始するね。それでは狼さん、顔を上げてください。
Now
続
let
いて占い師、顔を上げてください。
now let the game begin. Will the wolf please raise your head? Now the fortune teller, please raise your head. Oh, they're playing a hidden roll game.
カミングアウトします。おじさんは占い師です。
Okay.
ゆうちゃんは狼です。
Okay, I'm revealing myself. I'm the fortune teller. Hanyu-chan is the wolf.
はわわ
Ow, 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 ow.
では全会一致で初日の生贄は
So then, with a unanimous vote, our sacrifice for the first day is... Oh, she's the nausea.
決定だぜ。吊るされるのは羽生だ。
Decided. We're hanging Hanyu.
ゲームにさえ参加できない。
I didn't even get to participate in the game.
さあ、羽生ちゃんも罰ゲームの衣装に着替えてもらおうかね。
Now to have Hanyu-chan change into her punishment outfit too.
やめるのです。僕にも恥ずかしい服を着せる気なのですね。
Stop it! You're planning to make me wear something indecent, aren't you?
薄い本みたいに、
course.
薄い本みたいに。
Like something from an erotic doujinshi. Like something from an erotic doujinshi.
あう。
Oh. Oh. Oh.
これからは神様同士仲良くするなりや。もう許して立てまつれ。
I promise the three of us gods will get along get along now, so spare us already.
我も超改心するのです。
I'm super repenting too.
はう、かいよ。お持ち帰り。
How so cute. I'm taking you home.
あ
Wait, she skipped over Hanyu?
納得できないのです。
I won't accept this. I'm saying the same thing. I'm not accepting this. Oh, there are words. I've got to assume, just based on Steam achievements, that there's something that's to be read after this. I can only assume. Wait, so is this not it? Like, is there more to this thing? I'm just trying to like, if there's like a lot more to this, then I severely underestimated. I guess we'll find out here shortly. After Party 2022. This is a message of gratitude to those who purchased this product. Open the title menu, then the bonus menu, and please select After Party 2022. A music room. Okay, a music room. Bonus menu. Bonus scenario. Higurashi chapter. Oh, there is more. There's more. Oh, new title screen? Oh, is it Hanyu? Whoa. Fascism? Oh. Oh, my favorite. Air piss. Oh, look, there's a knife. Well... Alright, let me see if I can find out how long... Let me go back really quick. Oh... Let's see, wait a second. What is this? I've been debated so hard. I can't believe this is what I get for not doing a ton of research. What is this thing? Oh my goodness. No, don't start it. Fucking hell. No, didn't mean to. Shit. No. Stop. No. No. Restart the application. No. No, no, no. I forget, what did they call it? Was it Mihagashi? Abuse of Power spinoff? Oh. Oh boy. It was Magashi. Okay. That's going to take some time to read, based on what I can see. So we're not... Is there not a... Oh, here we go. Hell plus additional scenario. Tragedy that could destroy not only all of humanity, but the galaxy itself draws near. Keshimaibara, strip the girls... Apparently not a joke. Let's read, well... We should probably knock this stuff out, right? Let's see. Let's read this. I can do this. I'd rather read this than what was what we were potentially seeing there. What's this? I'll talk. How's the ending of Pentiment? It was interesting. There were some interesting reveals. I'll stand by that. That final third of the game is obviously it's built differently, and it's like intentionally is a different kind of vibe, obviously, than the first two thirds. But it was interesting. It didn't take a complete cop out as far as revealing. I thought it was gonna go. I thought it could have gone the way of, like, I think I talked about it when I finished it, but like I could have seen it go the way of oh, you know, fucking we're not going to show you exactly what it is because it's nebulous and you've made your own decision, so it's just, we're going to leave things nebulous and not tell you exactly how things shook out, and if you want to see different alternate routes or something, then replay the game, kind of. It didn't necessarily do that, which was nice. It was kind of definitive, and it's like, oh, here's actually the one behind everything, being kind of vague about it, if you ever do want to go see how the ending shakes out or anything. But it was interesting. It was interesting. It had a couple little cool little moments, cool little reveals. It ended up being a fine finale. Did Klaus actually die? The dad? I guess spoilers for Pentiment. Mute if you don't want to catch any strays here for the next 10 seconds. Yes, Klaus dies, and he does not get to see the mural. finished. But I kind of thought that that was how it was going to shake out, if I'm being 100% honest. Especially with kind of like how the things start going. Okay, let's just read this. And it's not voice, so we should be able to hopefully read this quickly, yeah? Okay, it's been a while since we had an after party, but let's go! Good work! Oh, everyone's so happy. It has been an awfully long time since we had an after party. We used to have one at the end of every story. Yeah, and then they did away with it. I never thought we'd still be having them in the Reiwa era. After Showa comes Heisei, and Reiwa comes after that. It's hard to keep track of them all. I want you to try counting out how old we are in the current Reiwa year when we're from the 58th year of the Showa era. Nippa! No. Stop it. Stop the count. Stop the count. We'll always be in the prime of our youth. I suppose there might be some people who don't know what this after-party thing is about. So I'll go ahead and explain. Back when Higurashi When They Cry was published as a doujin game, it was released chapter by chapter. Wow, I love how they have to like catch people up as like what the hell this is. Basically every chapter except for Matsuri Biashi ended in tragedy and left you feeling bad. Yes, that's right. So to clear those bad feelings away, we held these after parties where we all carried on like normal. Things were brutal for us in the stories too, so we wanted to cut loose here. Nippa! Apparently it's both our own after party and an after party for the production staff. That's right. It's also meant to celebrate the final build, so it's shenanigans all around. In actuality, the debug tournament from hell starts right after this, so it's not really the final build at all. Nippa! I see. So that excitement and those agonizing cries come from the fact that they're making this right after their brains are completely fried from trying to finish said final build. Apparently, they even got letters complaining that the awful excitement completely ruined the solemn feelings that they had when the chapter ended. Yes. I agree. Well, that was a trope of doujin game development at the time, so cut them some slack. For those who don't know, a doujin work is a thing someone creates independently and then sells by themselves at event spaces. There's other opinions about what counts as doujin as well. Anyway, since doujin works are typically developed during the creator's spare time, there are no real deadlines. But since the days that the events are held on are set well ahead of time, that ultimately creates deadlines for them anyway. So everyone ends up working until the deadline is right upon them, and then after an agonizing all-nighter that looks like something straight out of hell, they send it off for printing at the height of their exhaustion. That's why everyone's always burnt out by the time they finish the script. And these afterwards are usually written when they're in that state. I love learning. Which is why it feels like everyone was always writing things like, good work, I'm tired, or it was all hell again. The afterwords from that era had an air of showing off, like they were bragging about how they didn't get any sleep. What a terrible culture. Nippa! They could have just honestly written about that, so why did they instead turn into those crazy after parties that were all over the place? Well, if the production staff coded in pictures of themselves and said, man, we're beat, then it wouldn't be very cute, would it? So please stop uploading the stuff to pirate sites, everyone. Regardless, the atmosphere around doujin game development back then thought of shaving years off your life as being praiseworthy. Ah, it's that crunch culture. Well, you're only able to shave years off when you're still young. That's true. I guess our old man has surely become an old woman. Want to take it outside, you numbskull of the Valley of the Wind? What was that, my neighbor Dodo Brain? You're the cicada of Arity. You should do something about your ponyo belly before talking badly about others, sis. Oh boy, you're the one who needs to go on a diet, you Porco Rosso. We've got fucking Ghibli references. References? Oh, yeah. I've lost it. we're just... You can't say that one! You can't say that one! Oh, but Ponyo is fine. And arguments like that used to get even crazier and worse in the after-parties of the old days. It actually feels nostalgic. Seeing that craziness again, I mean. Though they calmed down an awful lot in the titles after Higurashi, didn't they? That's because the tea parties that served as the after parties in those games got incorporated into the main story. That's what they did. That's what they did away with that wild energy. Why? It's probably that's why they did. Whatever. There were no more after parties in the games that followed, huh? Having that much energy left after going through hell was because of their youth. By the time Umineko ended and the staff moved on to Higanbana and Rose Guns, they were all worn out and withered. Guess youth truly is a limited asset. I always thought people could stay young forever, depending on their mindset, of course. Believing that youth will last forever is probably another privilege of the young. That has gotten kind of dour. This isn't what after parties are all about. Let's get our blood pumping. Pump it real good. Yes, pay attention. Keychain just said something really smart. We can't be as dour as we want later, so let's enjoy this moment even more. That's right. People who can't enjoy the present will never be able to enjoy the future that comes after. Alright, now let's get this after party going. Today I've brought a magic box from the ritual storehouse. There's a round hole in the top. It looks like your average raffle box. Inside are pieces of paper with all kinds of topics on them. I get it, so we'll draw one of those slips and then discuss that topic. I'll go ahead and draw the first one then. Here we go. What's it say? What kind of person would you want to marry? Question mark. How? It's embarrassing right from the start. Now let's have Keychain be a man and go first. No stereotypical answers either. You have to say what you genuinely feel. What do you mean, no stereotypical answers? Huh? Oh, why are you pinning my arms behind me? Nipa! Here's a treasure injection from the Fruity Shrine to make you answer honestly. Stop. Rika, is that syringe really safe to use on somebody? Of course, the effects are immediate. See? Kechi's look has already changed. Kechi-kun, are you okay? You don't feel ill, right? Hey, can you hear us? What kind of person would you want to marry? First, let's start by defining marriage. Are two people married after submitting their marriage registration? If so, then marriage is reduced to an administrative term used by cold-blooded officials. Is that acceptable? No, it is not. Marriage should be defined as when two souls are drawn to each other and vow to spend their lives together. Love is everything. Without love, there can be no marriage. Yet are the gates of marriage open to any two people who love each other? No, it is not open to all. If love is everything, then age, nationality, religion, and even gender should mean nothing in the end. Oh boy. Oh boy. Since Japan does not allow that, then I can firmly declare that the Japanese definition of marriage is not the same marriage I believe in. No, in fact, even asking both parties to be human is foolish. What are we? What are we doing? Humans and animals, or even humans and inorganic creatures should be able to marry. If both parties love each other and they're certain of that, then the bond between those two is already eternal. How is that not marriage? How is it not? Now, to return to the question at hand, what kind of person would I, Kechi Maibara, want to marry? The very question itself is flawed. It's mistaken. Oh my god. You're already being too narrow-minded by limiting it to people. You don't get it. At this point, Kechi Maibara has already married over 100 wives. Of course, they're not people, nor are they animals. The one that I first married was a silicone... Yeah! I don't really get it, but I think I'll pretend I didn't hear any of that. By silicone, does he mean a doll? Was Kechi-san referring to the doll that served as the mother when he played house as a little boy? Kechi-san is surprisingly pure. Me, Nipa. I hope you stay this way forever, Satoko. By the way, what kind of person would you want to marry, sis? Me? Well, of course, I'd like someone who's mastered every martial art, has a thorough understanding of cryptography, works for an international spy agency, and, I would just want someone who went through school together with me and was always friends with me. Someone who would just turn to me at some point one day and ask, "Do you want to live together?" I think. Oh, what is that? Arena, that's so plain. What is that? Oh, I think you should be dreaming a bit bigger. Wahaha. Huh, honestly, it's hardly worth trying to support you, sis. Well then, let's draw the next topic. I'll do it. Here we go. It says that this year is Higurashi's 20th anniversary? That's incredible. We've been around for 20 years by now? Wow, it's already been that long? We've only been able to make it this far thanks to everyone's support. Every now and then I get anxious about what everyone from the Heisei and Reiwa eras think about the Showa vibe we have. For one thing, 20 years ago, the original author wrote Higurashi thinking it would only get read by people attending Komiket. Culture will change over 20 years. What would pass for a joke 20 years ago is unforgivable now, and the opposite is also true. This game is a work of fiction that was written in the 14th year of the Heisei era. I hope those who install this game understand that it was written in a time with a different culture and different values. We also cannot guarantee that owning and playing this game will always remain legal in the future Japan. Though it's a bit crude that we have to make things like that clear at the very beginning now. It may be crude, but that's kind of the era we're heading into. Now anything and everything is permanently recorded in the digital realm. And without adding a disclaimer like that, it can be misinterpreted as a reflection of the author's current values. It's also been 20 years for the author since writing Higurashi. I'm sure his thoughts and ideas have changed between then and now. The author even said that he was able to write Higurashi precisely because it was 20 years ago, when he was young. He mentioned that if he tried to write now at his current age, then even if the setting was the same, it would end up turning into a completely different story. After aging 20 whole years, well, a lot would change. All the staff members who endured that agonizing development hell would be 20 years older now, too. There's no way they could all just sleep in the same room until it's finished now. Each of them has children, and they have families to spend time with, not to mention the huge difference in their stamina and concentration between then and now. That said, it's still possible for them to challenge themselves with writing stories that they can only write now after living through the past 20 years, right? That's very true. Though, I think it's also incredible that they're still holding on to the energetic feeling that Higurashi had 20 years ago. That's something we can't be grateful enough for. We were only able to reach this 20th anniversary thanks to everyone's support. So, thank you very much, everyone. You have no idea how much it means, or how encouraging it is that you all continue to support us, and that people are still enjoying Higurashi even to this day. Our Hinamazawa may forever be trapped in the 58th year of the Showa era, but we'll stay in good spirits and keep going wild forever. We'll always be full of energy, growing paranoid, reaching level 5, and running wild. It would be lovely if we were able to do something special for the 20th anniversary, wouldn't it? Heh heh heh. I have a few ideas of my own. Well, we don't know if any of them will continue to fruition, but it would be lovely if we are able to do something. And I guess the next one is the last one? Alright, I'll pick the last one. Here we go. God, this just reminds me for some reason of like how at the end of Umineko there was that story where it was like, here are some characters that we didn't end up using, and here are their like unfinished beta sprites. It was like they would talk about these characters that were never introduced in the story and why they didn't come in. I was like, the anime Higurashi, Go, and Satsu. That's our topic. Yes. Let me talk about this one first. As Hinamazawa's conscious, I never once developed level 5 symptoms. I was the angel who never doubted her friends. I think most of the fans who cheered for me decided to support me because of that. Shi-chan's Hinamazawa syndrome was quite different this time, and it brought out a different kind of fear and sadness. Can't believe you stomped my head on that badly and shoved me into the outhouse. I know, right? That was so gross, wasn't it? The angelic Mion-chan would never be able to do such a thing. We were going to, what were you going to do if you made all my fans throughout the nation disgusted with me? That's not what really makes you appealing anyway. I think your true fans enjoy watching you go wild. What's that supposed to mean? Then go ahead and list 10 things that are appealing about me. 10? Huh, piece of cake. Huh? First off, the index finger of your right hand is cute, you know? Next, the middle finger of your right hand is cute, you know? Next... Ki-chan, you jerk! Wacky. You had it very good for yourself, Mion-san. Things people said about me were awful. That's not true. Your Nini understands you. It was all Rika-chan's fault. In this world, there are just some people who hate studying, no matter how hard you try and make them do it. For me, the anime was just tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. It was still full of surprising and unexpected scenes though, so it was a lot of fun. Yeah, according to the author, the anime was full of surprises, even for him, so he was able to enjoy it like a normal viewer. What started as a text-only outline became a series composition outline, then a script, and the storyboards, then finally images were animated. Though people imagine scenes differently, if it's just text, right? So because of that, there were several scenes that shocked even the author. Sometimes it's best to leave it to the experts. Besides, things that are fun to read as text and things that are fun to watch as anime are slightly different too. There are some moments when my success with traps can cause an unexpected combo that would shock even myself, despite being the one that set them. One good example is a scene where Mion pounds away at me and stuffs me in the outhouse. The only thing written in the outline was, she gets dumped in the septic tank. The septic tank is beneath the outhouse, so it wasn't wrong at least. Apparently the author had envisioned her removing the lid of the septic tank and dropping her with it in with a splash. But then that became dumping her through the opening of the toilet, and since that opening isn't very large, she wouldn't just slip inside, so... That's how it became that famous scene where Rika-chan, who always acts in the shadows and steals the good parts with a smile and a meep, or a nipa, gets bashed over and over again. Huh? Famous scene or not, aside, the author was taken aback, but he wanted to make use of the surprising sense of intensity, so got all the all clear. I see. So even the author watched with surprise at the unexpected interpretation of his work. I always thought the authors knew everything about the production process and could tell what scene was which with their eyes closed by the time it ended up on TV. There's some of that as well, but I think it's really fun that even the author could be shocked. That's true. It wouldn't really be Higurashi if it couldn't shock the author himself. By the way, it ended with me as an incredible villain in that tale, so how am I supposed to face the rest of Hinamazawa now? I don't think you need to pay it any mind. When I ask you to buy toilet paper, but you come home without buying any, I play out 8 or 9 ways to brutally murder you in my mind while I'm wiping my butt with printed saw paper. And then when I finally come out and you tell me, Rika, you take too long in the bathroom, I feel like I could easily waste 100 or 2 fragments on just bullying you. Nipa! Same. My sister's incomprehensible nitpicking and insensitivity leave me so frustrated that I murder her 100 or 2 times in my mind every day. Everyone has things that irritate them or that they can't tolerate, and we often vent like that by imagining how we'll get back at them. I don't think that's an unhealthy response, but... Well, I'm not really one to talk either. But being part of Inamazawa is learning what's important. Learning to grow up. Besides, all of Go and Satoko's story. Whatever she does there, or learns from then on, that's all up to her. I guess this might be spoilers for the anime that I never watched, I don't know. Rika-chan just mentioned she'd waste 102 fragments in her imagination, just bullying Satoko, right? But everyone can laugh it off, because it's all just inside Rika-chan's head. Story of Gu and Satsu is nothing more than something Satoko imagined, if you ask me. If you animated what's inside my head, it would be quite impossible to broadcast on air. That's right, that's right. My imagination is incredible too. When I suffer an awful fate from your punishment games, my mind goes into making Mion and Shion change into Angel Mort outfits in front of me before I make them something redacted, and I have Rina. Don't worry about it. Then I have Rika-chan and Satoko. Blank. They can cry all they like. They're all blank. Huh? Were we not just saying it's okay to do whatever we want in your imagination? You just made me question your humanity. Ki-chan, I think you should enjoy that by yourself in your head instead of voicing it out loud. I agree. If we had crime prevention buzzers in our area, they'd all be beeping and buzzing right now. Nipa. It's true that Satoko caused countless tragedies and lots of fragments. Each of those was an unforgivable sin, I think. But I would still forgive her. Because the fragment that she chose in the end was a world where everyone is happy and both her and Rika-chan respected each other's choices. That's true. I agree with Mi-chan. What matters is what we chose in the end. All the other hypotheticals leading up to that, those are just dreams. That's the same thing Hanyu said to me when returning to our original fragment during Higurashi. It might be a dream, or it might have actually taken place, but we're unable to make that distinction, so what matters is the world that we're all living in now. I still think I was a bit of a victim being pulled around at Rika's whims. But as time passes and I continue to live in Hinamizawa without Rika, then maybe my thoughts will come to change. You know, I also think I went through awful experiences because of you. But as I live at St. Lucia's without you, then maybe my thoughts will come to change as well. It's up to everyone how they choose to interpret the story. That's right. We can't force anything on anyone. But when you do regain your spirit, I'll always be waiting here, ready to accept you. Always being there for people like that is what being a friend, no, a best friend, is about. This was somehow gotten complicated. Satoko and I should have just punched each other and then talked it out from the start. Who knows? Though I'm sure all the twists and turns we took, where I vented everything festering in my heart, is what allowed me to be able to say how I really felt. I'm sure the fact that you two are practically close family actually made it harder to talk about. So in that sense, no matter how many tragic fragments it took, I don't think a single one was wasted in helping your mind mature. Thank you. I think I'll take my time to think on it. No matter what happens, I'll always be your best friend, Satoko. We're here too! Hey, Satoko! What's the matter? You're looking down. Everyone's all gathered together over here. Today we're having a sukiyaki party at Angel Mort. Then that's it for our club member only after party. It's time we joined up with everyone else. Satoshi-kun, look at you. You made it to Angel Mort all by yourself. Shion, how old do you think I am? You can have a seat, Nini. I'll get plenty of meat for you, so eat up and be happy. Spoiling Satoshi-kun is my job. Shall I chew the meat up for you? Oh boy, I'll bite it up and make it nice and soft. We should go too. Let's all eat up and keep working hard. Yeah, that's right. We club members are going to tear up the Reiwa era too. Reiwa? Fight on! Okay, Nippa. Rika, your world will stay the same, forever and evermore. True. It'll keep on going, just like we wished. It will continue to change and grow, just as we wished for. I'm like speed reading. I won't be satisfied with just 20 years. I'm a 100-year-old witch, and I plan on keeping it for another century. That's a spirit. Now, it's time for you to go too. Go eat lots and lots, okay? We've all made it this far thanks to all of you. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you very much. And we hope that you'll all continue to support us as well. Look at us all. Aren't we adorable? Look at this cast. Oh, really? Okay, we get credits for this? Alright. We get the theme. Bum ba bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum. Dude, we get these nice pieces of art though. In the art style of the sprites that I don't care much, like 1,000,000% for, but it's fine. Haters will hate me. It's fine. I mean, this was a bunch of little nonsense, but it is at least interesting to hear from technically the perspective of the writers, from, as they were mentioning, like, so many years after this originally came out, like, for this release, this bundled package release being obviously done so many years later, right? It's at least something. It's goofy. Goofy is the word for the night, but we take it. Oh, look at that art. Oh, slow down. We still got the staff room thing to read. We gotta read the staff room here tonight. But yeah, there should be a stream tomorrow. I plan on playing some Valkyria Chronicles and start the new game tomorrow. And the new game is downloaded and selected. It's, the only hint I'll give towards it is maybe to your liking, potentially, a puzzle game. It is a puzzle game. Fuck, now I'm thinking, I mean, I can't not read it, but whatever that harrowing next story thing here, we're probably gonna read on, like, Tuesday. Oh, God. I could just so easily not read it, but also, like, I've come so far. I feel like if I don't read it, I'm chickening out. La 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 la! That's true, I did read Abuse of Power. Nothing can phase me now. Alright, how long do we think staff room could be? It can't be that long. It can't be at all longer than... Oh look, it moves up. We get the face now. And not just her hands or whatever. Alright, this is probably gonna be... Wait, what is this? The following contains references to unique terms and trends from the time, along with the excitement immediately following completion of the master copy, so please read it with forgiving eyes. The hell does this mean? Are these the posts? Before I click into these, I gotta figure out what the fuck these are. I'm searching. I mean, I'm going to a different area. No. Let me try this. Okay, where I'm initially searching here is not giving me an answer. I'm thrown off by all of this and then this. Should I just click the first and see what happens? Let's see. We'd truly like to thank you for playing through Higurashi When They Cry Watanagashi-hen. This is the creator, Ryukishi07. This is the main culprit, Yada Sakura. Man, you often see afterwards in Dojinshi, but we're not done. We're not done at all while I'm typing this out. There's still work left. Yeah, this might be post. Yeah, the Christmas songs have stopped too. Jingle bells, jingle bells. Swapping covers out. We made covers with the wrong address. Only 30 hours left until Winter Kit. Swapping out 150 covers, finalizing the master copy, burning off 150 discs. Someone tell me this isn't real. I don't know if I care to read this. I mean... What is this? How much is this? What are we doing? I just don't know if I'm gonna get anything out of this. Okay. This is what we'll do. Since we're not reading, we still have a little bit left to read this. This is what I'll do. I'll pause at this. I'll try to do some external research, but I'll also leave it to YouTube video comments. Should I read The Secret Staff Room these things? They don't seem like they're long, at least by how fast I was clicking through that, sorta. But do I really want to or need to? I guess the actual answer is probably I'm not going to need to. I would be pretty confident in saying that. But, am I going to get anything from reading them? That's the real question. Because they just feel like they're probably going to be a bunch of nonsense. And not even the good kind of nonsense. Like, also I think I went in the wrong order. Accidentally, I clicked split because it wasn't even... He's talking about Final Fantasy. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Okay, good. Alright, so I'll leave it up. If I get a comment that's like, nah, bruh, you gotta read that shit, then I'll go and read it. But don't just say it just for the sake of saying it. Please, spare me. Spare me a bit. The thing is, let me check what the schedule is up on this. That'll probably go up on... This video will probably go up on either the 11th or 12th. So then that would mean you would have specifically... just one day if I was to then also read Higurashi on Tuesday. Just like the morning for someone to stop me or to not stop me. Here, also, I gotta see, let me see something. Can I reach this? Ooh, stretch. I almost stretched too much there. I gotta see if this is working even. Let me see. I know you can't see what I'm checking, but... I'm trying to determine if I just call it a night now, or do I really want to try playing something else. But I am just chilling to the music. Okay, yeah, we'll just call it a night, especially because tomorrow I plan on being on stream quite a bit, so we can just call it an early night. I started early this tonight anyway. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna read Higurashi on Tuesday next week, because I kind of would like this stream to just, like, potentially settle for a few days, for me to potentially get a response on, if I should read the fucking secret staff room or whatever. Oh, I fucked up the window. It doesn't matter. I'll fix it. Watch this. Watch this. We're fixing. I'm zooming in and out with the most minute adjustments. Close enough. So yeah, I don't know if we'll read Tuesday because, again, it kind of depends on what we're feeling like. Clearly, the next story, this thing is going to be silly, to say the least. So maybe this will be Tuesday, but maybe we hang back and just wait a week from today. I'll determine. Like I said, I'm leaning towards not doing the secret staff room reading stuff. I think that's just wacky stuff that mostly is probably gonna fly out over my head anyway, because I'm missing certain context for stuff, and like I'm reading them not attached to the actual after reading, post-reading a thing, and it just seems like it's just gonna be no shame intended towards Ryukishi or anything, but it's just stuff that I don't necessarily need to see or read. But, you know, there's a chance someone's gonna say, hey, Austin, trust me, there's some great stuff in there, and then I'll be like, alright, sure. So, I'll let that sit. We'll for sure read this, because why the hell not? But that'll be, like I said, sometime next week, either Tuesday or maybe potentially even just a week from today. And we'll do that. And then tomorrow, when I stream, hopefully a good size stream tomorrow, like I said, Valkyria Chronicles, I definitely want to play more of that, and the new game that will start. The only hint being a puzzle game. A puzzle game that I have uttered the name of on stream for sure in the last 2 months. At least once. So if you're the adventurous type, you can comb through in the next 15 hours. You can comb through all of my streams and any puzzle game I've referenced once. Then you can create a list, and then you can try to go from there. So that'll be that's your only hint. You could guess too. And like I said, I'm only being confident. I'm confident that I've at least said it at least once on stream over the last couple of months. Yeah. It'll be a surprise anyway. Like I said, it's like a shitty form of Christmas. You just have to wait, and it'll happen. Like I said, in about 15 hours from now. So, no worries there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining. I'm gonna peace out here for an early night. We started early, just as intended. I said if I wanted to pivot. I didn't know how long this one was gonna last, and also, like, gives myself to have the rest of the night to myself. So, have a nice rest of your night. Still early, all things considered. I'll be back tomorrow. Double game Sunday. Until then, take care.